Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me, and that joke is dead. Welcome to Good Morning Pop Culture. Today is August 31st, 2018. And you know what? It's Friday, the final day of the week, your last work day, because you got a long weekend coming up with Labor Day. So spend your final work day with me on Good Morning Pop Culture. Now, we've had a really good week. It's our first week back full-time for Good Morning Pop Culture, for World-Class Bullshitters, for our Wednesday night hangout, all kinds of stuff like that. So it feels good to complete another week of content here on the channel. But last night was a lot of fun. We discussed our Horror Hound stuff, which, if you haven't checked it out, please do. And then over on After Hours, we had a crazy discussion. Now, if you're a patron, you're probably wondering, where was After Hours? Well, we recorded it, I edited it, but it usually takes like 20 minutes to upload, and I wanted to get to bed. So I will upload that as soon as this show's over, folks. So do not worry about that. Now, good morning to everybody in the chat. I wanted to make something clear. A lot of people were talking about the Zoe Quinn Kickstarter. Well, guys, sometimes shit happens when you crowdfund, but it never happens when you support Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody, which currently sits at $16,350. Today, the first page goes off to the colorist, which is exciting for me, and I'll be giving you guys updates each week as soon as I get those pages back. But make sure you do. I guarantee you that you will get your book. I always make good on my word, and there's no difference with this project. Comicsgate guys are all men of their words, and guarantee it. But let's see what's going on while we wait for the rush to 200 viewers. Couldn't imagine only having 200 subscribers. That would be pretty fucking terrible at this point in YouTube. Now, you never know, though.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something from Canada.
Hey, Ethan's on. So, you work at a restaurant, Tim. Ugh. I did that in high school, so I definitely know what you guys are going through with that one. Trying to think, did I have any good restaurant job memories? No, none whatsoever. I did it, I dealt with it, didn't like it. Caesarea Japan, the difference between Jeff and Zoe is that Jeff is motivated by passion for his project. Zoe is just a grifter. Yeah, she was, ground zero for Gamergate, right? Her and, I don't remember, what's his fucking face? Not Matt. The guy's name. It was all a big deal years ago. I remember getting caught up in the sensationalist bullshit that was Gamergate. And that was 4 years ago, and we're still talking about it. It did, it was important. There were a lot of rifts in the entertainment community because of the Gamergate garbage. But at the same time, it exposed a lot of bullshit behind the scenes, and that's very important. That's what Comicsgate's doing right now. They're exposing a lot of hypocrisy from, the creators, the professionals. Let's see. I wanted to bring up one point, though, real quick. One of my favorite creators definitely got involved, and it pissed me off a little bit. So, you guys know how much I love Spider-Man. And, he's my favorite character. He's one of the reasons why I got into comic books. Spider-Man, not Mike McCone. So this kind of pissed me off. This sent me off on the wrong path mentally. It says, the comic book creator Mike McCone wishes dick cancer on Comicsgate. Well, I don't really like the idea of wishing death or cancer or anything on anybody just because we have differing political opinions. Fuck, we can have different politics all day, every day. Most of the people here on the channel probably feel differently about certain things, but this pisses me off because this is an artist that I actually looked up to. Yeah, he's more recent, but I thought his work was fantastic. I met him in person. He was very cordial. I won't say very great and friendly, but it just bothers me that somebody I like stoops to this level. I wish dick cancer on people. I remember one of the listeners was like, my dad died from testicular cancer. I'm done with Mike McCone. This is just in bad taste. Just bad taste. Jeff the Iron Wolf. Morning, Jeff. Got a live stream coming on this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Mindless Entertainment for a Q&A. Shameless plug. Roll on. Good morning, pop culture. There's no shame in plugging Jessie. She's a good lady. I know she's kind of sick and you want to help her out. So, Jeff the Iron Wolf, thank you. That's very admirable. And thank you for listening to Good Morning Pop Culture. Your tauntaun will freeze before it reaches the first marker. Then I'll see you in Jeff's comic. Yeah. Thank you, Bonobi. Star Wars quotes are always a good time for me. I never once think to myself, damn it, a Star Wars quote? No. I love them. I love them all. Ooh, I'm able to work from home today so I can work and lurk. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Working and lurking. Those mugs are coming soon. Don't worry. They'll be nice, 16-ounce mugs? So you can have plenty of coffee to get through your mornings. Oh, the Quinspiracy. Yeah, I remember the Quinspiracy videos. I watched those back in the day. Guys, I did like a good internet drama back in the day. Some of them are still too hard not to watch. You don't, at least for me, since I make this stuff, I don't have the time to get involved, watch every video, go to the Reddit posts, get all the information. I did in 2014 when I was just a lowly, humble illustrator who would travel across the country to sell my work. Now, I work from home, and I don't have time to do anything but stare at this computer and produce content for you guys. The guys in the comic are the bullshitters, so it's going to be cool. I talked to the colorist yesterday. He told me how excited he is because he likes the clean lines that I draw, and we're going. I'm paying him extra to go super detailed. So I'm even I have a small panel with a rug, and I'm like, dude, I want this pattern on the rug. So I wish I could have somebody like Alex Ross paint the book, but I couldn't afford that. I mean, hell, I know it seems like there's a lot of money involved with this comic so far, but a good chunk of that's got to go to the colorist and the letterer, and then a lot of the printing. So if we're looking at what I'm making from it, maybe $1,000 so far. So it's got to hit those big Cyberfrog numbers to actually make a difference for me. But that's cool. The story's going to get out there. It's going to go up as soon as I make more content about it. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much for your very generous super chat of 10 pounds. Hey, Jeff, finally got to catch you live as I'm off work today. Keep up the fantastic work. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much for that kind compliment, and enjoy your day off work. Those are fun. Monday, I'm going to take it kind of easy. There will be no live stream because it's a holiday. I'll work on the comic pages a little bit, but other than that, I might have a couple beers and relax. I know on Saturday, I'm going to watch a wrestling pay-per-view called All In. What did you just walk into? Well, you walked into Good Morning Pop Culture, live on World Class Bullshitters. No, I just wanted to bring this up because I saw the chat talking about Zoe Quinn, and I brought up and they were talking about how her game, whatever it is, Gary the Elf or some shit, is never going to get made, even though she got $85,000. And then I brought up how Stealing Solo is guaranteed to reach its delivery date no matter what, because I produce it. I don't have to take the money and pay somebody to do a game or make a game and be lazy. I'd like to draw. I've done it for years. I know what I'm doing. And it was funny when it came time to set up the background and shit. I was just like, boom, 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 boom. And before you know it, it was all done. So, no. But then I brought up the Gamergate thing, and Mike McCone, one of my personal favorite artists, he wished dick cancer on somebody, and that bothered me. That's in bad taste. You could say you wish they would go away, they'd fuck off, they'd disappear. You could Thanos snap them out of existence, but don't wish dick cancer on somebody. I mean, one of our listeners got pissed because their dad died from testicular cancer, and I could understand where you're coming from. It's just in bad taste. So, at least from my end, I will no longer be buying books new, drawn by him, because that's just shitty. Any good suggestions where I can watch classic wrestling matches? The WWE Network, honestly. That's not a plug for them because they ain't paying me shit. Honestly, though, if you guys want classic wrestling, that is the best place to get it. Edward Hogue, or Haga, I'll just call it Hogue, I apologize. Thank you for being order number 400. And thank you for having supported Stealing Solo. My next comic should be Jailing Johnson. Maybe. I mean, I don't know how many circles I can draw on one page to represent his head. Ooh. Maybe I'll just do, I know what the cover it'll be. It'll be a big giant picture of Saturn drawn with Ryan Johnson's features on it. And it'll just be a bunch of shit floating around his orbit. Yeah, Gamepad, he sounds like one of those to me. By the way, Yakov Merkin, thank you very much. Folks, let me pull this up because our friend Yakov Merkin needs your help. So, forgive me, I woke up a little late this morning. But no, our buddy Yakov is a writer, a sci-fi writer. And is a book called the Galaxy Ascendant series. It's a grand scope, action-packed space opera series. And if you're disappointed by the current state of the Star Wars universe, visit a Galaxy Ascendant. And those books are available on Amazon right now. And I'm going to share the links right here because we talk about independent art. We're tired of the crap coming out from Disney. There's something fun. There's something original. So this weekend, while you're waiting for your copy of Stealing Solo, which you'll get, early in the new year, get yourself a copy of the Galaxy Ascendant series and read it now. Have some fun. People want to talk about Warhammer 40K and all that stuff. Awesome. Warhammer 40K is a huge franchise. Help create the next big franchise. Cesario Japan, thank you very much for your super chat. A manga artist once joked that pirated content fans should get pancreatic cancer. 3 days later, a prominent anime director who was battling pancreatic cancer died. It was bad timing all around. Yeah. I know certain things are a joke, but I don't think Mike McCone's thing was a joke. Maybe it is. Maybe you were reading into it too wrong. But that's just kind of douchey. There's a tactful way to talk shit about people, and I don't think that wishing dick cancer on them is. Maybe pick a cancer that doesn't exist. Therefore, you get your extreme point across. What is a type of? Can you get elbow cancer? Well, maybe you could get elbow cancer. Fingernail cancer. Wish that on somebody. Just something so stupid. Like Ethan could wish butter cancer on somebody. What is butter cancer? I don't know, but it sounds harsh because you said the word cancer in there, and you get your point across. When I look at Alternate History Hub's Atlantropa articles trailer, I'll have to check that out. I do subscribe to that channel. I've just been away for a couple of days watching stuff. What studio would I want to do the Half-Life movie? Fuck if I know. Who does Neil Blomkamp? I don't know. No, not Neil Blomkamp. I guess you'd want big budget for that because you don't want cheap science fiction. That's one thing that's going to kill the next great franchise from taking off. Like when they adapt the Galaxy Ascendant series from Yakov Merkin, you're going to get the highest quality movie. That's what you want. So for Portal, for Half-Life 2, all that stuff, I would say give it to Universal. They got money. I know people say, but look at the Dark Universe. Yeah, but look at other shit Universal's made too. I mean, maybe the Dark Universe was a big failure recently, but the lineage they have is almost second to none. What do I think about Comicstorian and Comics Explained? I used to watch Comics Explained a lot. Now, yeah, Rob has differing opinions than me on a lot of stuff, but I didn't stop watching his videos because I'm angry at either of those guys. The reason I stopped is because it feels lazy. If I'm going to read a comic book, I want to read a comic book. I don't like the idea of listening to someone read me the plot and show me some of the art. Yeah, it does take time and work to make those videos, and I'm not here to knock them personally. But I will just go out and read a comic book. I'll support my local comic book shop. I'll support the comics elite of the world. And I'll do that kind of shit for the comic book industry. So if you are one of those people that can't read a comic book or something like that, those channels are fine for you. But for me, they're just not something that I consume. I don't like Cliff Notes. I'm not in high school anymore. Put it like this. If I was in high school and I had to, read a comic book for class or something and write a paper, then I could do that. But as an adult who takes things seriously, I'll just read the real source material. Thanks, Bonobi. We're almost at 200 viewers. Let's see. People are slowly rolling in. That's still a good way to start your day. I got a couple big things I'm working on behind the scenes. So make sure that you guys keep watching Good Morning Pop Culture because there's going to be a new format soon. It's going to be a really new format. A big change is coming. It's going to be more interactive, more fun, more coffee on my end because I'm going to need it to deal with what we're doing next on this channel. So never, ever, ever miss a Good Morning Pop Culture. Make sure that this is your destination on your way to work, on your way to school. If you're working and lurking, just do it, man. Just do it. Does anyone really, really, really? Oh, we're almost at 200. Damn, so excited to talk about this. Now, last night we covered part of this on Good Morning Pop. Excuse me. We covered it on Good Morning Pop Culture at 11 o'clock at night. Fuck no. I'm out of it. Last night on World Class Bullshitters, we talked about the episode 9 casting rumors. And I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but if you had a chance to, if you haven't had a chance to watch a video, make sure you check it out. But I wanted to bring this up because the Good Morning Pop Culture crew is a little different than the World Class Bullshitters crew in terms of audience. Because crew, it's just me. But even more Star Wars Episode 9 casting rumors have popped up. So they're looking for a younger Charlize Theron with street smarts and a good sense of humor between 27 and 35 years old. Her name is going to be Karina, unlikely the final name used for the character. Now, a good sense of humor, street smart. So you're going to get some sassy girl to talk down to Finn and Poe. Is that what the code word is for that? Stephen Morgan, thank you very much for super chat. If Lucasfilm thought that ruined football head Johnson was so fucking good, they gave him his own trilogy. Why didn't they also let him direct and write episode 9? I wonder why. Because if Ruin Johnstone was so good at what he does, wouldn't he be passionate too? Like, wouldn't he, if he was into Star Wars as much as he wants to do another trilogy, wouldn't he be passionate about the next movie? Like, you know what, guys, this is my story. I need to continue it myself. Don't you think that would be the case? Probably not. Or that isn't the case now. So he probably would be more motivated if he was into the story. I'm sure J.J. Abrams would have done episode 8 if asked and paid to. And he's doing episode 9 to close it out. This is all part of Kathleen Kennedy's failed artistic vision. It's like, hey, guys, I got a great plan. Shut up, Kathleen. Nobody cares. But, guys, listen. She's trying to go for that. I believe we've talked about it before. Maybe I'm misusing the phrase, but the auteur theory, where they get these directors and the directors create the final vision of the project. Well, auteur theory is bullshit in a galaxy far, far away. It's bullshit on these big franchise movies. You don't necessarily need an auteur to guide Star Wars. Star Wars has always been a collaborative effort with the best people you can find. You know, George Lucas, great storyteller and decent director, got Star Wars. Then you had Gary Kurtz, who produced it, Ben Burt with the sound effects, all the guys at ILM with the special effects, John Williams with the music, Ralph McQuarrie with the designs, Joe Johnston with the finalized designs, and Marshall Lucas, the unsung hero of Star Wars, with the editing. You need all of those people to come together who are great at what they do. And that's how you make Star Wars magical, not Kathleen Kennedy's, I'm going to hire these great directors, and everything else is an assembly line of garbage. I think that would be a nice documentary. I know there's that Phantom Menace documentary that I want to be a part of, but for some reason they never contact me. It's not like our channel didn't, talk about this for the last couple of years. But no, an assembly line of garbage, a Star Wars story, sounds like a very apt title for the current situation of where we are right now. Chris Scheimer, thank you very much for your super chat. Going to Chicago tonight. What should I do, Jeff? Well, Chris, you should stay alive and be safe. Other than that, go have some dinner. I know a lot of people would shit on this choice, but I like the Weber Grill. I think it's a very good place to go. Go get yourself some pizza. You could pick. Some people say Giordano's is too touristy, maybe Luminati's. But if you're in downtown Chicago, you can't go wrong with some of the big Chicago-style pizza places. Gino's East is good. So if I was going to Chicago, depending on what you're doing, if you're going for the weekend for fun, hang out, go to Navy Pier, go to the mall, do all that kind of stuff. But I suggest, first off, you stay safe. Secondly, get yourself some pizza. Get a large pizza. Eat it. Gorge on that pizza. You're not in Chicago very often, so get fat on Chicago style. We all want to here. I shouldn't talk about food this morning because I haven't had breakfast and I'm really hungry. I'm in the middle of this training thing, so you eat at weird times, and now I'm in that time where I should have eaten, but I can't eat on air because nobody wants to hear for like 10 minutes. No, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I didn't vote for Kennedy Johnson for president. I didn't vote for Kennedy Johnson for Star Wars. No one ever would vote for Kennedy Johnson for Star Wars. Do you think here's the funny part. You think that Star Wars is kind of slowing down in terms of the outrage from the fans as well as Disney attacking the fans. But I've always made it my point to bring it up so you guys never forget. Even if it's the percentage of the minority that they make fun of, at least people will remember. Yesterday, Rian Johnson, though, called out Mike Zero, maybe. And to me, it's bringing up a lot of the bad memories. It's dredging up the past. They say, kill the past, forget the past, kill it if you have to. Rian Johnson goes back and digs up the past and throws it on your front porch. Now, he could be joking about the Mike Zero thing, because I watched the Red Letter Media Star Wars video the other day, and I didn't have I had a different opinion of Rian Johnson. Before, I just disliked him outright, and now I kind of pity him because he's such a weak man. Such a weak little fellow. You listen to his voice. He doesn't have a strong voice. There's no bass in his voice. There's no power in his voice. He's just like, I have control, and I'm going to do this. It's my Star Wars movie, and the fans will hate me. So when he brought up Mike Zero, I took it as, oh, that Mike Zero fellow, haha. That's the Rian Johnson way of trying to dismiss somebody. Somebody like me that would do that. If I dismiss him, I go, who's Mike Zero? I've said that before. I'll say it again. Who is Mike Zero? To me, nobody, because he comes from the future and I can't see the future. But to some people, it's dredging up this whole us versus them, fans versus Lucasfilm mentality. And you're not wrong to feel anger towards that way that they did business. This 2018 was the worst year for Lucasfilm. Maybe they'll say, well, we made money. Yeah, guys, you made money. But let's think about what you lost. You lost us, your future source of income. You lost your future fans. Look, you can attack all of these, the angry white males, this vocal minority, this, that, and the other. But whether you like it or not, the people that dislike your movie compared to the crazy SJW fringe minority, well, the people that don't like your movie are more likely to have kids, therefore more likely to not pass Star Wars on. The crazy fringe minority probably won't procreate for the betterment of mankind. And your kids don't exist, so they're not going to watch Star Wars, and they're not going to buy your stuff. Well, thank you, Phil. He's not worth my pity. By the way, Phil, I'll see you on Saturday night for All In. Folks, if you want to watch some wrestling that's not WWE, All In this Saturday on pay-per-view. Why am I plugging other shit that's not for me? I plug the WWE Network. I'm plugging this. I'm plugging that. Unless you're Yakov Merkin's Galaxy Ascendant series, which I put the link in the chat, which I'll do again, or Stealing Solo, you might want to, just not worry about what else I'm saying. Why is Johnson talking to Mike Zero anyway? Maybe Mike Zero is Lucasfilm's ploy. Maybe he's what they want. He distracts us, but gives us little nuggets of truth at the same time. I always follow the crumbs that come from the journalists and the articles that are confirmed, and then you take the old rumors and you can kind of find a trail to the truth. We found that out a long time ago with the way Scott Mendelson talks and some of the shilliness, and you can kind of follow the ladder of shills to the top. Now, sometimes they break down like John Campea, but sometimes they get even smugger like Scott Mendelson or anybody from IO9 or even people from IGN. Like I said, I had written a video about the guys from IGN, and I wouldn't call them Star Wars shills, but I would definitely call them shills in the highest degree. IGN is not a video game website. IGN is an advertising website. There's a reason Spider-Man gets so much coverage, because they're paying for the coverage, because it's popular. It'll get them clicks and views, and they'll probably give it a pretty favorable rating because that's what the narrative wants. Same thing with Call of Duty. Maybe you like Call of Duty. Maybe you hate Call of Duty. Battlefront or Battlefield 5 is it number 5? Yeah, that's going to get a big score from IGN. It's going to get sympathy points. It probably won't get a 10 out of 10, but it'll probably get an 8.5 or a 9, and they'll talk about how powerful the story is and that they're giving it this score to go against the sexist trolls on the internet that didn't buy the game. Well, guys, your inclusion points, your bonus points for inclusivity don't mean jack shit in the marketplace. Marketplace isn't racist. It's not sexist. It doesn't buy up your bullshit. Mike Zero is always looking for 500 likes. It's easy to get 500 likes on YouTube. I mean, one of our video with the most likes probably has 30,000 likes. So there we go. You hate Call of Duty. Dion loves Call of Duty. Is that his favorite franchise? One of. For an annual franchise, Dion is a Madden Call of Duty guy. Me, I don't do WWE. I guess I'm guilty of the annual franchise, but I have fatigue, and I probably am not going to buy 2K19. You can't spell ignorant without IGN. You're damn right, Darth Wesker. There's so many shills, though, that, like I said, This year has been good for the Star Wars community because it exposed a lot of shit. We saw their play. That's like the curtain was open and we saw the Wizard of Oz. Now we have to stay strong through Star Wars Celebration because that's when the full force of the Phantom Menace shows up in person. It's different to be behind a keyboard and talk about stuff. But when you show up and you make shit happen, that's when you show your true power. So again, at Horror Hound, a lot of people showed up for us. Made me feel real good. But it also made me realize that the screen names that I look at are people with pasts and feelings and emotions and goals and desires, more so than Disney would, because when you see somebody, you meet them, it's way different than just reading their screen name. And so when hundreds of people show up for Star Wars Celebration, well, damn it, it's going to be something. It's going to be something. Well, Last Starfighter, I'm glad you asked because that's what I really wanted to talk about for today's main feature, the Disney Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I don't like the name of this, by the way. It reminds me of Midnight's Edge or the Samsung Galaxy, the phone, which I've kind of had. I had the Note 4 and now mine. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this theme park. I know Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is going to go, and that's not a knock at him. He's a Disney park guy, an enthusiast, if you will, and he's had this interest for a long time. I like Toy Story and The Incredibles, kind of. So, well, it's not the same thing. I don't buy anything from those. But Jeremy, Disney is a part of his DNA, so I'm not going to make fun of him. But let's talk about this. What would Star Wars Land be without a cantina? Disney has just announced that Oga's Cantina will be opening within the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and Disney Hollywood Studios when the new lands arrive. Just like the cantina scene in A New Hope and The Force Awakens, Oga's Cantina will feature music, exotic drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic variety, served in a variety of extraterrestrial vessels, and a safe haven for smugglers and bounty hunters alike. You never know who you're going to meet in the Star Wars Cantina, says Ken Whiting, a member of the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions Board of Directors. Now you can find out. Music will be provided by the familiar face, RX-24, a former droid pilot featured in Star Tours attraction before 2011 update, has taken a new role as the Cantina's DJ, since the first time alcoholic beverages will be sold in Disneyland since it opened in 1955. Woo! Though they've been available at Disney California Adventure and are served in each of the 4 parks at Disney World. Oga's Cantina opens in summer of 2019 and late in 2019 in Disney World. Oga's Cantina. So, I don't want to shit on anyone's parade. And yeah, that's the phrase you say, right? You don't want to shit on anyone's parade. You have your ass hanging over a balcony. But I don't want to, rain on anyone's parade about this. If you're excited for the prospect of seeing the Millennium Falcon, cool for you. It doesn't do it for me. You got to have goodwill towards it. Like Nintendo. Had Nintendo Land launched in the Wii U era when I wasn't playing Nintendo at all, or the fucking first Wii era after, the first year or two, I'd be like, man, fuck Nintendo Land. They've redeemed themselves. I'm, again, interested in them as a property. So that's why I'm excited for Nintendo Land. Star Wars Land, not so much. And it's funny. They keep talking about, Disney's for the kids. Disney's for the kids. The streaming services for the kids. Why are they including alcohol? For the adults. Star Wars really hasn't been too much of an alcohol-centric franchise. Yes, they drink in A New Hope for a moment. And then there's really and there's this moment in Return of the Jedi. But it's not like Star Trek where they drink regularly on the ship or in the movies and stuff like that. I don't really associate drinking with Star Wars. Not that I'm against it. I mean, I drink myself, so it's not a problem. But I look at this alcohol relaxation of the law rules because they want the adults to come to the park and spend a lot of money. They need to recoup their money quickly with this Disney Star Wars thing because the kids aren't buying it. Your average consumer is kind of fed up with it. So you're going to get your hardcore fans. I can go to Disneyland and drink. Fuck yeah. Then you realize it's $30 fucking for a Mai Tai. And you it's served in a Bantha cup. Who gives a shit? It's a Bantha cup. That's why Dick's Last Resort went out of business in my area. Overpriced shit. Lowkey07 says you should do a live stream during All In. Well, thank you, Lowkey07. I may. I don't know what I'm going to be doing Saturday. I know I have a family barbecue in the day and then All In at night. And the Dr. Phil Seitz and I will be drinking and watching the show. So maybe. You got to be drunk to go to Star Wars Land. Oh my God, somebody puked on the Y-Wing. That's how I get kicked out of Disney. Not because of the channel, not because they know who I am, but because I walked into the park and vomited all over the Wookiee suit, and now it smells of beer and vomit. Probably a 2-hour wait for a $100 plastic cup of light beer. That's what you say when you go to this park if you have to. I fly all the way down to your park, and all you got for me is light beer? I hope there isn't any green milk. You don't want Luke Skywalker's green titty milk, only available at the California location, Disneyland, with extra soy. A soy latte from Star Wars. Hits me. It was me. I puked on the Y-Wing. I would admit that too. Sorry, guys. I just couldn't hold it. Jennifer Aniston at 50 is still hotter than Kim Kardashian. That's an interesting comment to see pop up. Alec Munoz, thank you very much for your super chat. Star Wars Galaxy Edge equals more nostalgia fatigue. Yeah. You know what would even be stronger nostalgia fatigue? And maybe actually this is a good business thing. So if they listen to this show, they might do this. Why not release some of those harder to find Star Wars figures only in the Disney parks and limit it to one per person? That way you can't have scalpers go in and buy a handful and sell them on eBay, and it gets people into your park. I mean, Disney owes me at least $50,000 for coming up with this idea right there. Hasbro, get your exclusive figures into Disney's Galaxy Edge. Oh, put out something everybody wants, like a new face scan of Princess Leia in the gold bikini or something like that. If you can sell booze, you can sell an action figure in bikini. Roman E, thank you very much for super chat. This is my first time being able to listen live. I'm usually working at 6 a.m. Did you hear that Hayden Christensen said, what Hayden Christensen said is, wow, I can't talk. What Hayden Christensen said is advice to Kelly Marie Tran. I know that he spoke to her, but I don't know exactly what she said, or he said. Let's learn about that together in a moment. Talk amongst yourselves about the Star Wars Midnight's Edge thing. Why do I keep calling it Midnight's Edge? I don't know. Hayden Christensen news. I'm so glad they keep using the phrase toxic fans. You know what? These are toxic news articles. The HuffPost. Why did I even fucking click on this shit? Gladly I have ad block on. It is the butthole of the internet. The butthole of the internet. So this comes from the Hayden Christensen offered some advice to Star Wars The Last Jedi actor Kelly Marie Tran after she became the victim of racist and sexist harassment online. Let's see what he said. I don't really want to read the whole thing. Don't take it too seriously because, unfortunately, those are the ones that make most of the noise. Christensen told Entertainment Tonight, but the majority of the people don't feel that way. Keep that in mind. Okay, that's a pretty level-headed answer. Majority of the people, yeah, at least for us on the channel, in this community, we dislike Rose Tico. She's a stupid character, but nobody really dislikes Kelly Marie Tran for being, what'd she say? She was from Vietnam. Her family's from Vietnam. I don't care. Those things don't bother me. I don't look at her and go, ooh, she's Asian. I dislike her. No, never had those thoughts. What were my thoughts? Rose Tico's lame. She can't act. Oh my God, she's a taser. Why did she defeat Finn's sacrifice that could have saved the rebellion 2.0? Oh, I don't know, because we got to save what we love, not fight what we destroyed. Fucking stupid. But now I've seen what Hayden Christensen said. You know, Hayden Christensen took it like a champ, and it also killed his career. And you don't hear him bitching and bitching and bitching. No, you know what? He married Rachel Bilson, and he started his farm, and he moved on. He went out and he found that fucking dog. Kelly Marie Tran and all these other people want to play the victim card and whine and bitch and moan every day. Oh, I was harassed on social media. Get over it. You know what? You made a bunch of money from Star Wars. It's one or two people that are talking shit, and now you're just using it for attention. This community, the Fandom Menace, we dislike Rose Tico. Kelly Marie Tran may be all right as a person. It all depends on how they treat us. That's one thing they have to understand. Celeb worship isn't a thing. We don't idealize celebrities because they're famous. If I met The Rock and he was a douche, I would be pissed off, but you know what? I wouldn't feel the same way, and I wouldn't kiss his ass. You know, when you meet other celebrities, like thankfully Billy Zane was a nice guy, and that's important. So Kelly Marie Tran, if you want your perception to change with the Star Wars community, because let's be honest, this is the biggest thing you'll ever do. If you want that to change, well, then make sure that you have the intention of coming at us with nothing but positivity. You want positivity? Give positivity. It goes both ways. Respect goes both ways. Hayden's a cool dude. I have never interacted with him, but the thing is, I would like if I met him, I'd be like, "Oh shit, it's Anakin Skywalker," and then I would ask him a couple questions. I wouldn't really talk shit to him because Episode 3 kind of redeemed himself a little. Oh, we did read about that, Amy, but the media is trying to sensationalize that and turn it into the fans are the problem. You can't spell stupidity without crazy Kathleen Kennedy and ruin Roundheaded Johnson. Yeah, Rose Tico's in the next movie. Gosh, she's going to be the true hero of the story. Maybe they should just get rid of this Katrina character or Karina character and just make it Rose Tico. A dinner of Ticos. It's just a bunch of Rose Ticos the whole movie. Like Rick and Morty. You know, the planet of Rick and Morty's? Planet of Rose Ticos. That sounds hot, right? Jeff, how are you going to get your comic to people? Because let's see. How am I going to get my comic to people? Through the mail. We ship worldwide with Stealing Solo, Captain's Parody. If you receive mail, you'll receive the comic. I've never had any grudges towards any directors making a bad movie until Roundhead was being completely disrespectful. Yeah, when you're a shit, you're going to get shit back. Like Kevin Smith, I hated fucking, what is that, Tusk? Tusk was a terrible, terrible movie, but you know what? Kevin Smith owned it and moved on. He didn't say, oh, you just don't understand what I'm making. You're not smart enough. That's not what happened. It's not what happened. Speaking of The Rock, I heard he's going to play Hawaiian King Kamehameha in a movie. People's reactions are mixed. Well, maybe he's not Hawaiian, but he's got Samoan lineage. Look, you know, it's acting. Why not have an actor act a part? The Rock is gonna. This is gonna roll off The Rock's back. It always does. It always does. Rose was the anti-Lando. I'd have no problem with what if Rose was attached to the film that shall not be named. Yeah. Ugh. I'm glad people. Why are there little baguettes when you said Tusk is awful? Like, is awful baguettes. I'll forgive any Kevin Smith missteps because Red State was good. Well, yeah, Red State was pretty good. That ending was pretty awesome too. Yeah, he redeemed himself with that, but man, Yoga Hosers was fucking unbearable. Unbearable. Trying to get my coffee on this morning. Sorry, folks. You smell what The Rock is cooking. He's cooking pineapples because Hawaii. There's an old commercial for the first SmackDown video game where The Rock goes to the SmackDown hotel, literally, and he goes, "The Rock smells what you're cooking." And the guy goes, "Pancakes, Rock, pancakes," and then gets hit in the head with a garbage can. Whenever The Rock talks about smelling what he's cooking, I think of pancakes right away. The Rock needs to save Episode 9. Dude, even if you put The Rock in that movie, that'd be, I don't know if that'd be enough. The only thing I would buy from Episode 9 is if they made a Rock figure for Star Wars and the head sculpt was better than the ones for the WWE figures. So I could buy a couple, put them on The Rock, and make like the ultimate Rock figure. Tusk is a new Good Morning Pop Culture meme now. If you guys want it to be, this is the People's Podcast channel. So if you smell that, actually it's the coffee and it smells fantastic. We can make Tusk a joke. I mean, Tusk already is a joke. I've seen that walrus thing, the special effect. I've seen that in person. I thought I smelled gas. I thought I smelled something. It was all I smelled was your bullshit, Foley. Forget it, Jake. It's Star Wars. Well, somebody tell that to Jake Lloyd. You know, that's the guy who really had the bullshit happen to him with Star Wars. And again, the media just kind of brushes over that. It's bullshit. You know, a kid gets shit on. Yeah, Ahmed Best got made fun of and this, that, and the other. And I'm not trying to say that anyone getting harassed is okay, but let's not forget that Jake Lloyd's entire life was ruined. Ahmed Best, he didn't get other acting gigs because he's not that good of an actor. Hayden Christensen didn't get much acting work because he didn't pursue it. And he's not that great of an actor. Kelly Marie Tran, not that great of an actor. Jake Lloyd, in some stuff as a kid, okay, but man, Star Wars just ruined it for him. He could have been great. Could have been. You never know. But you don't put a child through that kind of psychological torture just to make money. Could I imagine The Rock doing the People's Elbow to Kylo Ren in Episode 9? I can dream. That's a dream right there. I'm imagining it right now. Boom. Oh my God, he gets him right in the fucking the granny panties. Boom, right there on the chest. See, The Rock was good in G.I. Joe. What is the best Rock? Or sorry, what is best about The Rock is that he doesn't take himself too seriously. Very true. He doesn't take him. Excuse me. He doesn't take himself too seriously. Therefore, he's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if The Rock can save the story, but he can make it hilarious. Yeah, he could. People's Elbow is an equal opportunity smack. Yeah, The Rock lays the smackdown on everyone the same. You talk shit, you get hit. Doctor Who, Matt Smith is in Episode 9. What the F is going on? They're casting everyone to try to get you to see this movie. Hey, guys, you don't like our Star Wars cast? Well, here's Doctor Who. Hey, you don't like our Star Wars cast? Well, here's a Hobbit. You don't like our Star Wars cast? Well, here's Karina. You see how that goes, folks? Star Wars, The Last Desperation. That's what this is. That's what this is. It's because Jake Lloyd is white. That's why SJWs ignore him. It's probably the narrative that's true. That's kind of fucked up. If SJWs actually looked at their narrative and how they discriminate and belittle, and they're full of hatred and bigotry, and they lie and they cheat and they steal from other people. Sorry, Eddie Guerrero. They need a fucking mirror is what these people need. Just a straight up mirror reflecting upon themselves. Like, this is what you are. This is what you've done to us, to society, to culture. You've ruined it. There's not going to be a future oncoming civil war, but there's going to be a culture war that we're right in the middle of right now. And no one's going to really win. The best part is that the fringe SJW minority will eventually die off. They don't want a family. They don't want to do this. They want to get stupid degrees and fuck around on the internet and bitch and support a hashtag. I started a hashtag, guys. Whoop-de-doo. I took a shit this morning. Same importance. Actually, mine was more important. It's good for my health. Your hashtag didn't do jack shit. Let's see. Favorite Rock movie? Pain and Gain. He's really a wrestler first and foremost to me. So I'll buy all those damn action figures. I'll travel the hundreds of miles to go watch him fight, real or fake. But sometimes I don't make it to my local theater. I didn't see Skyscraper or Rampage. Pain and Gain or Jumanji 2. Those are both damn good movies. So he said, I worked as a PA. Where was that one? I wanted to talk about that. Where'd it go? I did PA work on Rampage in Chicago. Rock is incredibly cool on set. He said hi to almost everyone on set. You see, that comes from a good background. He's made it. It's really easy, folks, to be friendly with everybody. Just say, hey, put your ego aside, shake hands, smile. Make people feel welcomed, wanted, invited into your life, and they will return the favor tenfold. These douchey actors, these entitled people on the internet go, I don't know you. I don't know you shit. Well, you know what? You take that attitude out into the real world, no one's going to talk to you. But no matter what you look like, if you have a good attitude about shit, and you smile and you make eye contact and you move on properly, you can get help and you can get places. So The Rock is the perfect example of that shit. Kyoto Films, if you ever want to tell me what other movies you've worked on, that'd be an interesting conversation to have. We could do an industry insider special here on the channel. Obviously, everyone's name would be kept secret, but still, it could be a lot of fun. Replace Boyega with Kevin Hart, add The Rock, make Episode 9 an action comedy. Couldn't be as bad as Episode 8. Episode 8, yeah, that's true. You could never get worse than Episode 8. When I say that, I'm secretly hoping that Episode 9 is worse than Episode 8. I just want to go and laugh. Unintentional comedy. That's what Star Wars should be. What the Sith is this says, we need a really good parody of Star Wars. Well, folks, you have a really good parody of Star Wars. It's called Stealing Solo, a Captain's parody, available only on Indiegogo. Link is in the description below. Oh, I love it. I've learned so much from Ethan Van Sciver. Thank you, Uncle Ethan. You're making me a better person. No, but I won't be sharing the artwork. Well, I will be sharing a lot of the artwork, but there's a... Never mind. We'll just talk about that a later day. I'm going to make some videos. I've never seen Faster. Maybe that's why that's not my favorite Rock movie. I got to check it out. The Rock is good in the Fast franchises. Luke Hobbs, yeah, he's fine. I'm looking forward to the movie with him and Jason Statham. That's going to be a lot of fun. I like The Rock. I like Jason Statham. I like the laugh. I like action. It's funny when we live in this soy infused world where people on the internet are just so lame. Sometimes you need a balls to the wall action flick to kind of like wake you up and realize the world's not full of just idiots. Marek Dealine, thank you very much for your super chat. So, Star Wars Episode 9 adds the Doctor, a Hobbit, Lando, Leia, Luke. This new funny character, possibly Mara Jade, possibly Thrawn. Just sounds desperate. Yeah. Thrawn is too late. Too little, too late. A Star Wars story. Guys, we could come up with... You know what? Do me a favor. Right now in the chat, come up with some of your craziest Star Wars Episode 9 titles, but make sure they're mean. You know, too little, too late, a Star Wars story. Stuff like that. Thrawn, if you would have introduced Thrawn instead of Admiral or General Hux, like, what the fuck is Hux there for? He's a joke. I hate to quote it, but the Red Letter Media video was right. They talked about... the villains weren't played for laughs. They were meant to be, they played it cool, like General Veers, Target, some maximum firepower, and he blew up the shield generator from The Empire Strikes Back, stuff like that. Those things were good. When they scream, fire, and all this other dumb shit, they're not meant to be taken seriously. And if our heroes don't have a credible threat, then we shouldn't look to our heroes to overcome a threat. It's just they exist, they're good because they tell us they're good. Thrawn should have been there in the beginning, and Thrawn should have been vicious. You could have even alluded to a backstory of how Thrawn rose from the ranks of the Empire's ashes and was always gunning after Han Solo, and he knew the ship and this and that. And it could have made it a little more personal for Han Solo's death instead of this whole Kylo Ren is my son bullshit that we got with The Force Awakens. But it's too little too late for Thrawn. Mara Jade, why would you introduce Luke's wife after Luke's dead? Leia, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher, but god damn it, why? Why are they bringing her back? For nostalgia bucks. Lando, love Lando to death. Billy D. Williams is the smoothest motherfucker on the planet. Nope. Can't sell a ticket, though. Not a draw. He's great when he's part of stuff, but he's not a Harrison Ford. He's not The Rock. He's just not a draw anymore. He's like an A+ Philip Michael Thomas. Women love him. He's got the charisma, but he just didn't have the staying power that other people think. Trevor Random, I hear there's a book coming out about Solo. Do you know anything? I might have heard about it on the interweb. Stealing Solo, Captain's Parody. Link in the description below. Star Wars, an official Lucasfilm porno. Oh my god, that sounds fun. Black Hole, son. A Star Wars story. Hollywood reminds me of Heel Rock from 2003. They stole his style. Yeah. They said Toronto, that's where we live. Star Wars, the empty theater strikes back. Solo's empty theater made me laugh. Star Wars Episode 9. Are we still doing this? Star Wars Episode 9. Stop the madness. Star Wars deleted. Star Wars Episode 9. The next ones will be honest. Or better, honest. I messed that one up. Sorry, but that's my favorite one so far. Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey wins. Timothy Zahn's 2 new Thrawn books are the best thing to come out of Disney Star Wars. Wouldn't be surprised. Timothy Zahn, if Jeff had the power to control Lucasfilm, Timothy Zahn would be right there with me at the top. We wouldn't need a Leland Chi or Pablo Hidalgo. We would have Timothy Zahn and Dave Filoni. We'd get the best continuity. We'd get like the most weird OCD continuity Star Wars fans. But guys, this can't happen because of this, and this can't happen because of this. And we would take that all under advisement. And like Lucas, if certain things interfered with the overarching story, we'd take it out. But we wouldn't kill the EU overall. Episode 9, I thought they smelled bad on the outside. Star Wars, this better not be porn. I love your icon, by the way. Star Wars Episode 9, free beer. Shit, free beer. I'll go see any Star Wars movie for free beer. And better be that good shit, too. No watered down PBR. PBR is the only beer that I have a difficult time drinking. Why is Lucasfilm so cheap with the casting? Make Star Wars movies with top Hollywood actors. Most of them can act. Well, Raul, look at the Joker spin-off flick. They were going for the heavy hitters. We had De Niro involved, rumored. We got Joaquin Phoenix. At one point, Alec Baldwin was going to be attached. We got to see how that goes. But I do agree that you should put heavy hitters in your movies, or at least put them in there sparingly. For example, Glenn Close showed up in Guardians of the Galaxy. I consider Glenn Close a fantastic actress. Stallone showed up in Guardians 2. What a surprise. What a twist. Again, something add some weight to it. And then Kurt Russell, fantastic actor, fucking legend. Throw some legends in there. I like Doctor Who. I'm not going to be able to do a Doctor Who podcast with you guys outside of the Tenet stuff. But Matt Smith is not a draw. He didn't save Terminator. He didn't save, what other movie is he in? He didn't do anything like that. But they just keep getting these. I almost called her Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer would be awesome in Star Wars. Holy shit, Imperial Officer Kelsey Grammer. Fuck, I'll buy a ticket for that today. But no, Felicity, what's her name? Not Kerry Washington. Kerry Russell. Sorry, I almost said Cary Grant. Again, big draw. If you can get Cary Grant in your Star Wars film, I'm going to buy 5 tickets. But no, Raul, you make an excellent point. Why not get really great actors? Something to hang your hat on. I know they like to say, well, Star Wars has always been historically dealt with unknowns. Yes, Star Wars historically has been about a good fucking story too, Kathleen Kennedy. You can't make up your own shit. Like, if you play by the rules 100% of the time, well, you got to play by the rules 100% of the time. Don't bastardize lines of dialogue or quotes from George Lucas. You don't get to do that. You gotta live and die by that sword. And right now you're dying by the sword. You ain't living. Salvador, good morning, Jeff. Starting my weekend off right with good morning pop culture. Ever notice how Cryan Johnson looks like a living pop vinyl? And now I can't unsee that. Oh my God, Ryan Johnson is a mighty mug, just perfectly round. Do you think he listens to this show and he's like, haha, that was a good one, guys. Let's point fingers and laugh at other things. What would you do if you found out Ryan Johnson was like a really nefarious internet troll and people have been looking for him for years? I would laugh. I personally would take so much pleasure in that. But yeah, Ryan does look like a living pop vinyl figure. If you look at him directly in the eye, which I don't recommend, behind his eyes are just sadness. You know, in Halloween, they talk about Loomis going, I looked into his eyes, black eyes, blah, blah, blah. I saw nothing. Well, when I look into Ryan Johnson's eyes, I see torment and harassment in a perfectly cylindrical head. Poor man. But thank you, Salvador. Enjoy your weekend. Do something fun. If you got the weekend off, don't work, man. Lay around, drink some beer, listen to our live streams that are coming up. Just have fun, man. Just have a good time. Maybe we'll do a Sunday night stream because no one's got to go to work on Monday. So you guys will be up and waiting around. Maybe, who knows? Moret the Aline. Timothy Zahn is the Dave Filoni of books. Just got 1.5 of his books left to read. Well, Moret the Aline, it seems like you're a well-read individual. You also have very good taste in your morning entertainment. Cheap plug for Good Morning Pop Culture. I do own Zahn books. I just haven't read them. I feel like I'm late to the party. It's like there's this really great party behind the door, and I just got to catch up, and then everyone will be welcoming. Like, hey, Jeff, you finally made it. Welcome to the other side. And I'll be excited. Well, I'm seeing people talk about September in the Lucasfilm Enema of Kathleen Kennedy. I'm hoping against all hope that does happen. I mean, guys, I want it to happen more than any of you. Kathleen Kennedy gone from Lucasfilm. I mean, the fucking article, the videos write themselves. All joking aside, though, her being involved with Star Wars has been really damaging, and I hope that Hollywood takes a second look at nepotism once the overall damage report has been assessed. Was Captain Picard damage report? Well, let's talk about the damage report from Disney and Lucasfilm. Ticket sales in the garbage. Toy sales in the garbage. Fan morale in the garbage. The only thing up is their heads up their own asses. No one is excited right now, guys. New actors are cheap and easier to control. Excellent point, Cultural Epoxy. Also, excellent screen name. Let's think about that for just a quick moment. Easy to control. It's all about the narrative. It's all about what they want to do with the new Star Wars films. That's why the original films work so well. You have a Harrison Ford say, you can type this shit, but you can't say it, George. That movie feels natural and organic. You know, what the hell are you doing? Somebody's got to save our skins. Just lines of dialogue like that really work. Not this whole, I bypassed whatever, blah, 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 and then she just fucking smiles lifelessly. Or don't hold my hand. Lifeless characters are for old video games. You know, Rey is essentially the world's greatest NPC. No one can play that. It's got PC in it, too. Kevathar1138, thank you very much for your generous super chat. Morning, Jeff. Have so many thoughts on a rewrite for episode 8, as well as the whole sequel trilogy in general. When do we get the rules on the rewrite? And what is the watch tonight or tomorrow? Okay, so the rule of the rewrite, I will be posting those soon. I'm glad you reminded me because stealing solo is taking up my time. I also have to write something for Mahler today, so thank you for reminding me about writing because I'll do that before I shut this computer down. The watch party for tonight will be later. It'll be about 11:30. It's going to be Spaceballs. So if you guys have, you should all own copies of Spaceballs. But watch Spaceballs, have fun. I got my DVD here. I have to use, dust off the old computer to use that. But yeah, Spaceballs is what we're watching tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk about Star Wars parodies. We'll shoot the shit. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be out. I'm actually gone all day. Tomorrow, I have a family barbecue and then a wrestling pay-per-view to watch. So that's why you're not going to get much from me. But on Sunday, I'll come back and do some more stuff too. I really like the nighttime streams. People get relaxed. They have a couple beers. They take it easy. We shoot the shit. We have a lot of fun into the wee hours of the morning. So that's what's coming up. Kevthar1138. Thank you very much. Oh, Alec Munoz, make that transition, Jeff. Time to plug Stealing Solo again. Well, folks, make sure that if you like Star Wars and you want to see it saved and you love world-class bullshitters, check out Stealing Solo Captain's Parody. As I said, within less than 2 weeks, we're already at 82% of our goal, well beyond what your average Indiegogo goes for. Wow, we've actually jumped up quite a bit since I last looked. We're at $16,470, so thank you to everyone. And I'll be showing updated artwork in the near future, probably by Tuesday. So be prepared for that. And I'm going to keep giving you guys updates. And the new poster that's going to come with the book is awesome. I can't wait to actually sit down and do the finalized version. Just be on the lookout for that. Adam Wofford, thank you for your super chat. Episode 9. Knock, knock. You still there? Oh, I don't. The words episode 9 make my stomach growl, and not in a good way. Jeff, opinions on my last few comments. Let's see. What did you say? They know we're here. Oh yeah, they definitely know we're here. We are their target audience. We're the audience they want to keep because I'm not trying to act like the protected class or whatever, but realistically, if I'm a fan of something, you want to keep me around because if I'm really a fan, I will buy your shit. I'm not embarrassed to go out and buy action figures. I'm not embarrassed to buy a shirt. I'm not embarrassed to buy your Blu-rays or your DVDs or proudly talk about you to thousands of people, tens of thousands of people on a YouTube channel. Even if you take the YouTube channel out, I'm still willing to give my money to stuff I love. Well, don't shit on me. Aiden Man, thank you very much for your super chat. Love your channel. Thank you very much, Aiden Man. Love your comment. Muret Dialine, thank you very much, my friend. What I would have done with the sequel trilogy is I would have made the Imperial Remnant chaotic as fuck with Moffs, Admirals, and Captains jockeying for power in Sidious's absence, part 1. I like it. You need a reason why the Rebel Alliance are still on the run. You need that. Stories are only, like in wrestling phrases, it's better when you're chasing the title than when you're the champion. It's better when the Rebels were always looking for power or looking to say, win the fight, not when they've already won the fight. Salvador, thank you very much. Episode 9, more like episode 9. Yeah, well, that's accurate too. Muret Dialine, thank you very much again. Thrawn and Mara could be the big bads. Eventually, you could add a Snoke or a Jorah Sabuth character when Mara turns good. Add struggling New Republic. Again, Brian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy assume that because the Rebels have like 14 people and that they're on the run from Kylo Ren, that's the adversity they face. We need to know how they got there or why they're there. Because here's the thing, people say, but you didn't see that in the original Star Wars. Yeah, but you saw them win the fucking battle in the original Star Wars. They saved the galaxy. The fight was over. We knew that they won. How do you lose that power? You got to talk about that. That's the interesting part. You want to make 1,000,001 spin-off movies, Kathleen? Make one that tells us how we got to this shitty situation. Maybe somebody will care. Not me anymore, though. Yes, never underestimate the power of the Schwartz. Film says no problem. There's been a ton of stuff: Dark Knight, Man of Steel, Little Fockers, Transformers, 3 and 4, Public Enemies, BVS, most anything shot in Chicago in the last 11 years. Oh, okay. Little Fockers. That's the only Fokker movie I never saw. I love Meet the Parents. Didn't like Meet the Fockers as much. Didn't hate it though. Man of Steel. Dark Knight though, thumbs up. That movie's legit as hell. I love it. 14 people on one ship is not a resistance. It's Terracell at best. Yeah, there is no resistance anymore. Resistance is futile. JJ knew nothing about the New Republic. Guys, JJ knows nothing about filmmaking. So I'm going to sell you my mystery box. I'm going to sell you this box, and what's in it, you don't know. That's the mystery. It could be something great. It could be something nothing. That's the mystery. Well, JJ, I have a box to sell you. It's on Indiegogo called Stealing Solo. In my mystery box, though, my internet mystery box that's just for you, Jeffrey Jacob Abrams, it's a big middle finger. I flicked off the microphone. I apologize if I offended anyone's ears with that violent gesture. Don't forget that the originals didn't have the foundation of the prequels, so it didn't matter where the Empire came from. It's true. It's true. Yeah, we have to take everything. Context is king. You have to remember when these things were made. That's why when people talk about Star Wars, I go, you can't really get too pissed about this because this was in 1977 or 78 when this piece of news came out. There was, Boba Fett wasn't a clone back then. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. You can't, yeah, you can look at it from a universe perspective as like, hey guys, this is what happened in the real world. But you should also at the same time take into account how it was made back in the day. Cesaria Japan says, give Star Wars to Mel Brooks. Thank you, Cesaria Japan. It's not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all. David, I don't know if the Star Wars franchise is able to be saved, but we'll sure as hell try. That's what this channel's for. That's what all you guys are for. We got to show them. A story like Stealing Solo can show them, like, guys, there's good fans out there that are willing to support something if you give them something they want, or if you give them something they don't realize they want and you do it in a nice, proper way. You don't shit on people. If you can get Kathleen Kennedy to wear a horse head mask at Star Wars Celebration. Kathleen Kennedy would never allow me to be within, a foot, 10 feet of her, 20, 100. I would never even do anything. I have no ill will towards her as a human being. I just think she's a shit film president. So that would be really fun, is if this channel blew up overnight and it's like, yeah, the biggest YouTube channel in the world is going to Star Wars Celebration. And then people are like, oh my God, get him an interview with Kathleen Kennedy. See, folks, that's the power of the internet. If enough people do one thing, anything's possible. So if I got to interview her, that would be incredible. David Lynch to direct a Star Wars movie again? Well, he should have done Return to the Jedi. But we were talking earlier about, young actors are easier to control. Richard Marquand was pretty much an easy director to control. This directed Return of the Jedi. There's a lot of similarities between the first movie and that movie, and Richard Marquand just kind of rolled over in many places. I'm sure she's seen your million view video. She wouldn't let you anywhere near her. And I don't even want to be around her. I don't like the smell of mothballs and cheap perfume. I was just at Disney World, and Galaxy's Edge looks insane in a good way. You can get a decent view from Slinky Dog Dash and Toy Story Land. I didn't know there was a Toy Story Land. One thing that does change my opinion of Star Wars Land is the fact that it's the rectangular Millennium Falcon dish. It means I can't look at the original Han Solo ship. I got to look at this Rey piece of crap. But it's still Han Solo's ship. No. When he lost it, if you know what I mean. Spielberg was the first choice for Return of the Jedi. Yeah, but Lucas left the Directors Guild or the guild out in Hollywood, so he couldn't direct it because Spielberg would have to quit too. Thank you, Logan Michael. You have a good one. Oh my God, have I covered Mike Zero yet? We did a live stream the other day covering Mike Zero's news, and now Mike Zero is, I guess, the butt of Rian Johnson's jokes. Maybe? Question mark? ... Ellipses. Look, Mike Zero is like a lot of people on the internet. He wants to get the views, he wants to get the clicks, so he makes up stuff sometimes. He's his own source. And now we got this covered, used Mike Zero as a source. And Rian Johnson has basically Not called him out, but made fun of him, kind of threw a little bit of egg on his face. What do we say? What do we say about this? Yeah, we are Venom. Yeah, I'm speaking for, both of me now. What I say personally is Ryan Johnson probably knows who Mike Zero is. They probably know who we all are. Like Ethan. Ethan's the most public one. That's probably why he gets written about the most. Jeremy, he's on camera all the time. Me, my videos have more reach than all of them. I mean, we're in the millions on certain videos. And I mean, I look at the numbers. We have tons and tons of 6-figure videos. It's kind of a normal thing here on the channel. So they know who we are. And Mike Zero usually seemed like he was on their side, but maybe he wasn't. Maybe he's fed some stuff. I'm sure there are fake Lucasfilm insiders. There's fake Disney insiders. They're playing both sides. They want you to think they're one of us, but at the same time, they're like, hey, I'm an insider and I got this, but they secretly work for Disney. That could be the downfall of a lot of these channels if they start pumping out fake information and they don't preface it with this is a rumor, this is somebody telling me this, the what if, because you guys are very forgiving. If you say, what if this is the case? What if this is true? This is what I've been told. I don't know this is a fact, but we present it to you, all the while letting you know that it's not 100% set in stone. Well, that's how you build credibility. That's why the Grace Randolph video that went crazy a couple months back is still being talked about, because she was able to build some credibility throughout her career as whatever she is, and people listen to her. Mike Zero, I know Ethan just jokes about him, but like I said, who is he to me? I don't dislike him. I don't know him. I don't watch his content. I don't need my future Star Wars content. I need the truth. That's what you guys want. Our name's World Class Bullshitters, but the name, it goes beyond that. You think we're bullshitting you? No, we're the most honest motherfuckers on the planet. Salvador, thank you very much for your super chat. The Duffer Brothers, Ernest Cline, Ready Player One author, Gareth Edwards, and Timothy Zahn. Between all 5 of them, they could have given us the sequels we deserve. My sequel treatment is ready. Well, Salvador, you can always email that to us at worldclassbs@mail.com. Let's see. Let's talk about who you mentioned. The Duffer Brothers. Those are the Stranger Things guys. I like Stranger Things. It's funny. I get annoyed by... There's a lot of things I like in terms of entertainment, but I get annoyed by the way they're reported by the dumb people. See, I don't mind if I meet somebody out in public that says, I like Stranger Things and I like the 80s nostalgia based on what I liked from Stranger Things. That's cool. But what I don't like are these people that write the articles that try to pass themselves off as these experts, and use Stranger Things as the example. I don't know. Maybe it just comes off as disingenuous to me. But the Duffer Brothers, I don't know anything outside of Stranger Things. So maybe they can be, they can reference all the old shit. I could do that, though, and I could do it for, both of their salary plus a little extra, 15. Don't push it, Jabba. I'll do it. Ready Player One's author. I've never read the book, seen the movie. I definitely want to read the book. But these aren't bad choices so far. Gareth Edwards and Timothy Zahn. Now, Gareth Edwards directed Rogue One, right? And he's also the Trench Soldier. Good choices. I don't have anybody to counter that in terms of writers. I don't know many writers off the top of my head. Now, if we could build a series of directors, but we also need a Kevin Feige. I'm not saying Kevin Feige for Star Wars, but we need a Kevin Feige type. And it's definitely not Kevin Smith. So congratulations, Kevin, for all your weight loss. Sorry, I just saw they hate us because they ain't us. Good morning to everyone who's new. Because reasons, thank you very much for super chat. Your comic is at $16.4 thousand. You're close, man. Number 75. Well, thank you, because reasons. Now, see, I consider the first goal of $20,000 just the beginning, because if you think that I'm going to just say thank you and then go off quietly and make it, you're wrong. I'm getting ready for the huge pitch section of the book. I just want to make sure there's more stuff to show you, but it had to come out at a time where I could take it out into the world and tell people about it and get the excitement. Because now, once the pages come back from the colorist, we're in, full mode. There's going to be the stretch goal. Once it hits the $40,000 stretch goal, like Ethan's books, that's when you get the Comicsgate trading card. It's going to be the same layout and platform as all the other guys' cards. So if you want to collect the entire Comicsgate, trading card set, you got to help get Stealing Solo to the 40K. Then there's going to be more. And, the higher it goes, I might even throw in a brand new cover, stuff like that. I actually had a good idea for a stretch goal. Tell me if you guys are interested. If it reaches an astronomical number, like Iron Sights or something like that, and it can, because the art's that good, the story's the best out there. I'm going to stand by that one. I believe in it. Ethan's called it the best story of Comicsgate. His words, go listen to the streams. And I'm not discrediting anybody. All those guys are fantastic creators, legends in the industry. I mean, hell, the guy that created Earthworm Jim bought a copy of my book, so that blew my mind. But I have another comic that I did years ago, and when this hits the big stretch goal, I'll throw that in for free for everyone that picks up the book. So once it hits a big stretch goal, everyone's getting an extra comic book. And, everyone's a winner. Don't worry. There are tons and tons of levels and tiers that I'm going to offer. The first week was just getting it there. The second week's getting some stuff made. Then the end of the first month is just promotion. And then we're going to do countdowns the second month. So we're going to hit those big numbers. Anything's possible. Look at this. People say, oh, the number's not as big as this. Yeah, but no one knows who the hell I am because I haven't put out tons and tons of stuff yet. I'm ready now. Be prepared. Kylo's nipples. Good morning, Jeff, you sexy specimen. Thank you very much, Kylo's nipples. I'm glad I have your approval because now that I can know that Kylo Ren's nipples thinks I'm sexy, I'm going to sleep well tonight. Marethialine, thank you very much. Another great author is R.A. Salvatore. Oh, you mean R.A. Salvatore? He's written The Legend of Drizzt and Durden and D&D, also Star Wars Episode 2 novel. I know R.A. Salvatore. Salvatore, right? Because you wrote Salvador. I just want to make sure that I'm not wrong. Because I remember it as R.A. Salvatore. R.A. Salvatore. Yeah, I know this writer. Definitely. Also the same age as my mom, so that means nothing. Let's see. What has he written for Star Wars? All kinds of stuff. Yeah, this name. Yeah, get some of the guys that have written the old school stuff. I guess he's only written 2. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and the New Jedi Order, Vector Prime. I'm wrong. That name just sounds so familiar. What does doesn't the R stand for Ronald or something? Let's find out together. How am I printing my comic? Professionally. Look at Stealing Solo is not going to be this indie project that pales in comparison to the other ones. That's why this beginning goal doesn't really. I don't make much from it. Got to pay a colorist. That's a couple $1,000s. We're getting a guy. I've seen his work. You've seen his work. He produces great quality work, so he's getting paid. The letter in the formatter is getting paid. It's going to cost thousands of dollars to get these books printed. Why? Because I'm going to a place that gives you the same exact paper as Marvel and DC books. I'm going a step above, too, on the quality of the cover. There's no ads in this book. There's going to be extra pages printed as a thank you, which I'm going to incur those costs no matter what they are. The book's going to be the highest end stuff. I've been in contact with the guy who produces the professional comic book shippers. So this isn't going to be, a guy in his bedroom trying to mail out a comic book and say, I hope it makes it there. No, your shit is going to be like the videos I put out that get millions of views. They're produced to the highest standard. I always go the extra mile. That's the reason why it's taken me extra long to do this damn page 1 inking, because I'm sitting there adding every little detail and wrinkle and stuff that I want to do to make sure that the book looks good. I've drawn the same figure twice now because I didn't like his walking pattern. It didn't look organic enough. Or the angle of his fingers holding, draping over a woman's shoulder. Shit like that. So how am I printing my comic book? From a professional printer. Already got the cost lined up. How am I shipping it to you? Through professional mailers. If you get the poster, you're getting it through a double masonite board wrapped up in special tape and sent in a mailer. Everything's going to come to you crisp and brand new and perfect and professional. So you're not, like I said, I'm not going to Kinko's to print this. And the extra book, once it reaches a stretch goal, you know what? If we hit a when we hit that giant stretch goal, I may even pay the guy to color that one too, recolor, get it relettered, make it even better. It's like the special edition. If you want the original one, I may even throw that in there as an ash can version. Who knows? The possibilities are endless. I got tons of stuff to show you guys. I've been doing this for a long time. You may not know about it, but I've been doing it since 2012 was my first comic book, consistent book that I did. Let me rephrase it. It wasn't consistent. It was the first actual story that somebody else wrote and I drew. And I did all the artwork and I finished all 28 pages. I look back on it. I've grown as an artist a lot, thankfully, but still, I've done it. I know the art of storytelling. Just stay tuned. Do not miss out. Because like I said, once it's gone, it's gone. I'm not going to go, oh man, I really, really should put this on the store to try to sell some extra copy. This is a timed exclusive, like Cyber Frog, like Iron Sights, like all these things. Timed exclusives. That's why it's available on Indiegogo the way it is. Chris Scheimer says, might get hate for this, but in all honesty, Star Wars is officially dead. We probably not be excited for Star Wars for a long time. We probably won't be excited for Star Wars for a long, long time. It's dead to a lot of people. Like that Simpson, he's already dead. I love that episode, but you can revive it. Maybe it'll be a Frankenstein's monster. Or you know what you do is you just cleanse yourself from the memory of the Disney Star Wars. What's that movie? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? Something like that. And you just remember, oh man, Star Wars was just a bad idea, bad dream. So there we go. It could be dead for you. A lot of people care. A lot of these rewrites that are going to be coming my way are from passionate people. When I met Jeff the Iron Wolf, he was sharing that with Dion. I mean, he was ready to go. He's like, hey, man, I'm Jeff the Iron Wolf. Nicest dude. Wife, very friendly, too. And he brought his phone to show Dion his rewrite. Dion's like, I can't wait. So the passion's still there. It may be dead in the marketplace in terms of toys and merchandising, but that there is a small remnant that will give it, one more chance. I want to see episode 9 fail so they learn their lesson. After that, that's when I want to see a new uprising in Star Wars down the road, a little break. And then, you want it back. You want it. You miss Star Wars. Take 10 years, take 15 years, take 16 years, like between Return of the Jedi and The Phantom Menace. I almost said Revenge of the Sith. No, that was 22 years. Because reasons says, calm down, Jeff. I can never calm down. Never calm down, ever. Even if there's a fire. Sir Ruin of House Roundhead. Thank you very much for your very generous super chat. I'm going to be in Florida in early December. I might meet Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy, and Doomcock in Orlando. You're welcome to join us. Where can I message you for more info? Well, let's see. In December, I will not be able to join you in Florida because I live in Ohio, and it's a 20-hour trip to Orlando. So while I appreciate your offer, Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, I'm going to have to tell you that I won't be able to make it because I'll still be in some of the production for Stealing Solo, as well as the website. I have a big surprise that's coming that requires all of you guys to help me make it happen. It doesn't cost anything. I just need your help. And I know we have the most supportive community on the internet, and we can make that happen. I mean, look at this already. But I want to meet Doomcock really badly. He's so cool. I talked to him off air quite a bit, and he's such a friendly guy. So entertaining. Even when he's not on, he's still on, if you know what I mean. Jeremy, I'll meet Jeremy in Star Wars or at Star Wars Celebration. Same with Ethan. But I'd love to join you guys down the road. If you ever go back and I have some free time, gladly. But between now and Star Wars Celebration, I'll be honest, I'm quite busy for the next 6 months, 8 months of my life. And I wouldn't want it any other way. I don't want to have time to just sit at home and watch Third Rock from the Sun all day. No, that's a day where I'm wasting time. I could be out there making something, making money, doing something with my life, making a change for the end goal. But I expect to see some live streams from Sir Ruin of House Roundhead and Jeremy and pictures and stuff. And, make sure you post pictures on our Facebook page and stuff like that. Send me some pictures of the Star Wars land, their construction. We're a community. You guys, I'm sending you out as a... you're our secret reporter. If you find anything cool or you got any crazy stories to tell, let me know, and I'll talk about them on the channel, and we'll share it, and we'll spread the word. So again, Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, thank you very much for the offer. I'd love to be there. I'll be there in spirit. Think of me, there. I'm like the Force ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I would say Anakin, but I want to keep the same head. So thank you very much. And just punch Jeremy for me, man. Punch Jeremy. Chris Scheimer says, of course I want to cleanse and wait. But, thank you, Chris. Cultural Epoxy. I love this name so much. It's like the think tank writers in the sci-fi industry. Star Wars should be scrutinized more closely for the background and philosophy. Yeah. Now, sometimes, though, you get a little crazy with philosophy, the philosophical aspect, like Gene Roddenberry. I know I'm not going to be the most loved guy to say this, but sometimes Star Trek The Next Generation got a little too idealistic because of Roddenberry's directive. Star Trek but the original series, is so fun and so campy, but action-packed. There are times when, Next Generation kind of pales in comparison to that. 20 years later, and they still don't have that same excitement. But yeah, you should have a knowledge of Star Wars, a knowledge of philosophy, a knowledge of history, literature, if you will, like not historical literature, like World War II and stuff like that. But I mean, like George Lucas was Joseph Campbell's greatest student whatsoever. He understood the hero's journey. Luke Skywalker is the carbon copy of the hero's journey, but it works. I mean, I literally, when I said Luke Skywalker, I thought of him on Tatooine looking off at the sun, and I just felt calm, but I also feel excited because I know what those stories are to me, what they are to you, what they are to millions and millions of people out there. Excuse the Rock reference. You need somebody that understands, first off, like Doomcock said about the creators and the canon, you need somebody that knows where they're going, what they want, what their vision is. One big vision. Like here on the channel, the reason the four of us work together is we all have a big goal. We want to grow the channel. That's the first step to the bigger vision of getting ourselves a skit show and doing stuff. And the whole process of this is to entertain everyone out there. And I feel like we're doing a good job of that. But we all are on the same path. With Disney, Lucasfilm, you have about 5 or 6 different things going on. And that's why the Star Wars movies are a fucking mess. You have Kathleen Kennedy, who's got an ideological agenda. The Force is female. I don't think girls can identify with Luke and Han. This, that, and the other. That's crap. Then you got J.J. Abrams, who doesn't have any creativity, or any originality in his body. So you have that where he's trying to make movies based off the original shit, but it doesn't work. Then you also have Kathleen Kennedy's desire to be respected as a creative film studio president. So she brings in the shitty, douchey auteur director, Rian Johnson. So just alone right there, that alone, the trilogy has no direction. We don't know where it's going to go. And you say, but that's a good thing, Jeff. I don't want to know the story. You're not telling me the ending of Stealing Solo. Yeah, but there's a reason for that. There's a payoff that I'm telling you there is. When you watch the original Star Wars movies, you know that after Empire, there's a big payoff coming. They're going to save Han Solo. Luke's going to beat Darth Vader, or at least fight Darth Vader. He's his father. What's next? What's this? Tell me right now in the chat, what is the next logical step for Episode 9? There's none. There's no unifying goal. That's why I think you need an end game, and then you need the best people to get you there. Lucas had that. He knew the overarching story for the first film, and then he had the hero's journey to kind of get him to the next two, through the next two, to transition it. Then you had Lee Brackett come in and write Empire, and then Lawrence Kasdan, he came in too, and for Return of the Jedi. But there was still that unifying mission, that story. Lucasfilm needs that. They don't know where they're going. They don't know if they're coming or going. They keep giving you garbage all the damn time. So, cultural epoxy, you are right. They should be scrutinized for their philosophy, but they should also be scrutinized for their classical literature, the themes. Star Wars hits the themes on so many levels. Star Wars, the thing is, the original Star Wars films can be discussed on a deeper level, unlike most movies. Even Indiana Jones can, Indiana Jones is an atheist who finds God, stuff like that. You can read more into those movies. You can't read deeper into the new Star Wars flicks. You need to have that. The philosophy needs to be there. The deeper meaning always should be there with Star Wars. You have the lightsabers and the ships and the music and all that needs to be there too, but the deeper meaning, the internal struggle, the intangibles, the things that aren't said on screen, those need to be there too. You need to be able to feel the internal struggle. You need to be able to feel for the characters. You need to feel excitement, and you have desire to see them complete their goal, achieve their dreams. I wanted to see Luke beat Darth Vader and become a Jedi. I don't care what Rey does. And I'm so tired of the excuses because she's a woman. No, crazy SJW troll. It's not because she's a woman, it's because she's a bad character. I cared about Han Solo escaping from the vile clutches of Jabba the Hutt. I don't care about Rose Tico at all, or Finn. I should be caring about his internal conflict about turning on the Empire 2.0, but I'm not. I'm not. And that is their fault. Am I going to watch Dennis Villeneuve's upcoming Dune movie? Well, if I watch Blade Runner 2049, I like it. The answer is yes. Michael Rodriguez, back stealing Solo. Did you hear about Ryan dissing Mike Zero? He went protected, and then Ryan deleted his tweet. Also, seen the Plinkett Last Jedi review. So, first off, Michael Rodriguez, thank you for backing Stealing Solo. I appreciate the support. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee it. I did hear about Ryan dissing Mike Zero. I saw a screenshot of the exchange. I haven't been able to find it on Twitter. I tried last night on World Class Bullshitters, but I couldn't find it. Also, the Plinkett review. Yes, I did watch it. It was fine. It was like the other Plinkett reviews. Fine. I don't dislike Red Letter Media as a whole. I was disappointed by their Force Awakens review. So, and I felt betrayed because I felt like it went against everything that they always talked about, with their, they were the voice of reason to many people about the prequels, and they've become what they hate now. So that's why I don't take the same stock in them as a brand. But I don't dislike any of those guys personally and would love to talk to them down the road about stuff. We will reach their numbers and they will want to interact. And that's when we will do it. But thank you, Michael Rodriguez. Never calm down. Never surrender. Never. Not even in a million years. Even there's a fire. Because reasons, thank you very much for your super chat. Is there a website explaining the community plan for the Star Wars celebration? Ooh, that's a good plan. I'll take care of that soon. I know I talked to our friend with the bar. I believe he reached out again. We'll make it happen. We'll find places to go. Even if it's only for one night at that place, we'll make it happen. We'll come out. We'll support a local business as a community. Ethan's going to bring the pies. You guys can, buy your drinks from this bar. Even if you don't drink alcohol, pop and stuff. It all helps. Support them. They're supporting us. I really don't even have to tell you guys about, we have to be on our best behavior. The world gets to see us for the first time. You guys are smart enough for that. But because reasons, if you're a Facebook member, please tell me that on the Facebook page. I'll make a Facebook group. I'll do a couple other things if people don't have it. And we'll find a way to make sure that people know. Now, remember, there are people that dislike the Fandom Menace, and they may try to come and disrupt that stuff, but we won't allow it. We'll keep the place safe. We'll keep our community safe, and we'll have fun. If anyone comes in to start shit, then they're proving our point for us. So we have nothing to worry about. The Pui, there you are, the Pui. Morning. Thank you very much. I guess I went robotic for a moment, but the Pui, it's always good to see you, and thank you, my friend. Good morning. Red Lino, Jeff Unmasked Doomcock. It's Mike Zero. Dun dun dun. And I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids and that dog. I would cry if Mike Zero was Doomcock. He duped us. No, it's not even. I know it's a joke, but man, Doomcock is just too smart. It is too smart for that shit. Ground Zero, episode 90, hour 0 gate. Boy, do I love cots. Cultural epoxy. Thank you very much for your super chat. Okay, you're right. But behind the scenes, politics in the writing department that created this mess in the first place. It seems so intriguing. Yeah, it is the politics in the writing department. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I know my answer was a little long-winded, but I agree with that. I agree with what you're saying. I just think for the terms of the story, you need that too, and you need that vision. You need that end goal. But yeah, the politics of the writing department are very important. You need people. I'm not saying young people can't do it, but you kind of need an older writing group, an older writers group that have life experience, that understand people better than a bunch of idealistic douchebags that are like younger than I am. And I'm 29, so I don't think, even if you know Star Wars, and even some of our friends here on the channel that are older do get it, but we only have a finite amount of life experience. Some of these writers, like a Timothy Zahn, would be perfect because he's dealt with Star Wars fans for over 20 years. He's written he's written the most well-regarded Star Wars books. He gets it. He knows how to hit it on every level. So, but you are right about the philosophy. I'm with you, man, on that 100%. Can I get Fandom Menace shirts in kid sizes? Well, one thing, guys, I don't deal with the Fandom Menace shirts. I don't make any money off of that. That's not my gig. I believe that's Jeremy's shirt or Ethan. So I'm not responsible for that or the Soilo shirt or any of those things. Now, I made Dong Lover, and I'm going to launch worldclassbullshitters.com soon, and I'm going to have our own shirts. And when I do, we'll have kid shirts with our faces on. It'd be kind of weird to see a 5-year-old wearing, a World Class Bullshitter shirt, but that just means they have cool parents. But yeah, just contact Jeremy and Ethan, and I don't know exactly who makes it, but they'll take care of you. Brandon Moist, MVP of the World Class Bullshitters fan community. Why? Because he has an episode dedicated in his honor. He says, had a nightmare about ruined Star Wars trilogy. Well, Moist. Brandon, did you wake up moist with sweat? Was your bed wet with perspiration? I said poispiration. What am I, from the fucking 40s? No. Or was your bed soaked? I've had those dreams before. I've had those nightmares. And then I wake up and realize that episode 8 is real. So, Brandon Moist, thank you very much. And I hope your nightmare, waves or, disappears and you get up and you realize World Class Bullshitters is here to save me from that garbage. Red Letter Media should sometimes be a little more straight with their opinions because they love to mess with people's heads, whether they liked it or didn't. Oh, yeah, I used to watch Half in the Bag. I watched that shit. Fuck movies. I mean, I know who they are. My action figure fell off my shelf when I said that. I know them. I have liked them, but I did watch their Last Jedi review, and then I watched. Did they talk about it later, where they went back on it, or Force Awakens, and they went back on it? I just didn't do it. I was just like, no, thank you. It was like the that moment in The Simpsons, I choose you, where you can see the moment where Ralphie's heart breaks. It's like, oh, in the video, like you could rewind the live stream of my life, and when they say that shit, I say no, thank you. My 3-year-old son is already learning professional wrestling moves. Why not put him in a WCBS shirt? Well, you are a great parent, and I'm looking forward to the future generation if more parents are like you. But all joking aside, you and your kid are going to have some fun. You and your son will have fun with the wrestling moves. Dion wrestles with his kid, something I'll do in the future. Yeah, it's just fun, I used to wrestle with my uncle. I'll never forget, he would come over to visit my grandma, because my grandma watched me as a kid because my mom worked a lot. A lot is an understatement. My mom used to work 12-hour days back in the day, in the 90s, for very little money. But my point of the story is, he would come over and he'd wrestle with me. He's like, all right, you got to be Coco Beware. I'm like, I don't want to be Coco Beware. I want to be Hulk Hogan. So we'd wrestle and have fun. But those are good memories. And Coco Beware kind of sucks. But he made it into the Hall of Fame. If World Class Bullshitters ever does an episode about me, it's going to have ponies and lots of candy, probably. Amy Vinti, when we do something in the UK, I'm hoping you're there so we can scare Dion with all the ponies. Because reasons. EVS does fandom meta shirts crypto fashion. Okay, well, there's your answer. Right there. EVS does those shirts, and they're on the crypto fashion site. Good morning, pop culture is haunted. Ooh. Episode 7 is a sign of the apocalypse. That's true. I saw it coming from a great distance. I felt the disturbance in the force. That's what Stealing Solo is about. Link in the description below. Some 22-year-old writer fresh out of USC knows everything about life. Just ask him or her or Zer or whatever. Oh, you're in Australia, Amy Minty. Oh, okay. Well, we have a lot of fans in Australia. Maybe we'll visit there before we go to the UK. Who knows? Your uncle would put cocoa butter oil on you and you guys would wrestle. TMI, Jeff, TMI. No, it's doo-doo butter here on this channel, not cocoa butter. So, oh man, it's already 9 o'clock. Shit. This show has been going quick. See you later, Mr. Pete channel. How close is he to 500 subs? His name is I Need 500 Subs. Mr. Pete channel needs 500 subs. I wonder how close he is. I bet Ruin used to wrestle with his uncle. Like Uncle Jack. No, Uncle Jack, I don't want to wrestle. Well, I was an independent pro wrestler for 9 years, and I retired to stay home with him. I'm teaching him my trade. Thanks for being awesome, Jeff. My son and I listen daily. Well, if you ever want to share your matches on our Facebook page, please do. We'd love to check them out. I mean, we're not a wrestling podcast, but all 4 of the guys on the show are wrestling friendly. And down the road, I'd like to do like a live stream from WrestleMania. Well, they even have a sign no live streaming here, but I guarantee you tons and tons of people would watch that if we did. I'm not going to live stream the event, but maybe some cool fan access stuff. Speaking of doo-doo butter, made a funny doo-doo butter reference for the game I'm working on. Ooh, King Eric, I want to check that out now. Speaking of games, have you guys heard about Jeremy Hambley's SJW board game? This isn't a plug for him. It can be. He's a good dude. He's he's doing great work, and he's very nice and approachable. When he does his board game, I'm going to buy one of the first copies because that just sounds like a fantastic idea. Who would you rather direct episode 9? Keemstar, Sam Hyde, or Ryan Johnson? Anybody but Ryan Johnson. So let's do a duel like the Russo brothers, a Keemstar, Sam Hyde production. Used to sumo wrestle with my grandpa, who was a sumo wrestler back in Japan. And this is the shit I love because people tell you stuff, and there's just so much of a history between, among all the listeners. So that's cool. Grandpa was a sumo wrestler back in Japan. Whenever I hear sumo wrestling, I always think of James Bond, You Only Live Twice, where he goes to the sumo match. Or I think of this episode of Inspector Gadget, where Gadget goes to Japan, and he goes to the sumo wrestlers restaurant. Everyone's like, Ohio, Ohio. And he goes, Oklahoma. And even as an adult, it's so dumb, but I laugh. It's just a good memory I have. I think the dude likes my Keemstar Sam Hyde production. I'll send you links to my matches on the pages. We were an NWO type stable, so you'll dig it. Problem was, I was like our Scott Hall. It's funny you bring up the NWO. I've been listening to 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff on not Indiegogo, that's my thing, on Podbean. I've been listening to that, and I've been loving the shit out of it. It is a fantastic podcast. And if you guys want to know what I do while I draw, I listen to podcasts. I listen to wrestling stuff. I listen to sometimes history stuff. It just depends. I find if I listen to YouTube videos, I get too distracted because I want to get in on the conversation. But with podcasting, it's a lot easier to just listen and work. It was the man with the golden gun. Oh, please don't remind me. Hi, Gavin. Any bad comic art? Yeah, we can do that. What's the song you put on when you get annoyed by Star Wars news? In my videos? You mean like the elevator music that I use for the Star Wars toy videos? Because that's the only song I think I regularly use. Anthony Mata, I bought a copy of Stealing Solo. I love Tico Pie. Anthony Mata, thank you very much for supporting Stealing Solo. I love Tico Pie now, too. Jeff, do you have the WWE Network? You can go back and watch all Raw, SmackDown, Monday Night Nitros, etc. Yes, I do have the WWE Network at my disposal. Do I watch it every day? No. I find listening to 83 Weeks and Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and stuff more engaging because here's the thing. I've seen almost every Rock match ever. And I'm talking televised ones. I haven't been to the house shows, the untelevised ones. But the ones that are available, I've seen almost all of them. I like to watch or listen to some stuff that you can't find on the network. Like Bruce Pritchard can tell you about behind-the-scenes stuff that'll never be on the network. That kind of stuff interests me. But I do have it, and I do enjoy it. World-class bullshitters, Rise. Rise of the Bullshitters, a Muff parody. I like that. Stealing Tico might be EVS's next book. Well, if EVS makes a book called Stealing Tico, it should be called Taking Tico for the alliterative title, first off. Secondly, people misconstrue that as a sexual harassment thing. I have no interest in doing anything to Harrison Ford, but getting him to make the movie and helping him make money. Aren't we all better people? I remember Yokozuna. His name was Matt Inoue. He's dead now. He was a very, very large Samoan Hawaiian guy. I think he died at 500 pounds. If I donated $1,000 single-handedly, would you read My Immortal on air? Yeah. Jaron Reiswig, if you want to throw down that kind of money, I'll read anything from My Immortal on air. So all I got to do is ask. Am I drinking this morning? Yes, coffee. I wish I was drinking booze. I could go for a couple beers. And I wish I had it right now where I could finish this show, go drink some beers, and just go back to bed. That would be a fun day for me. But no, I got Stealing Solo. I got so much stuff to do, but that's cool. Plus, I got to take my car to get work done again, so that's going to be fun. But go to the gym. Maybe the hot girls are there. That'll be nice. Midnight Cherry TV, shilling Stealing Solo on Cherrycast #1 next week. Well, then make sure that you shill your podcast here so I can promote it for everyone out there. Thank you very much, Midnight Cherry TV. I appreciate that. No, I'm not going to wrestle Harrison Ford. Well, Jaron Reiswig, you may not have $1,000 to give me to read My Immortal on air, but My Immortal is available as World Class Bullshitters episode something. I don't know. Episode 99 is My Immortal Part 3, so you guys can figure out where they go from there. But go back and listen to it. It's awesome. I found an old AVI of WrestleMania 3 I converted from a live taping the other day. Good memories. Ooh. WrestleMania 3 was good. It was sad to see the Pontiac Silverdome torn down. It's funny, too. I went to Michigan State in 2007. That was my freshman year of college. And it was the 20th anniversary of WrestleMania 23, which I did attend. And I took the first couple of weeks. I'm like, man, all this great wrestling stuff happened in the state of Michigan. Then I got used to listening to the state, or living in the state of Michigan, and I didn't like it as much. Kendo, thank you very much. Kendo says episode 66, 97, and 99 are the My Immortal episodes. If you guys want to listen to those, sorry, that's all I can say. Jeff, what was the first Mania you went to? 22 in Chicago in 2006, and I've been to every one ever since then. Also, my favorite WrestleMania 17. Hands down. Even though my favorite wrestler, The Rock, lost to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Best show ever produced. A close second for me. WrestleMania, oh God, I don't know. There are so many great Mania moments. Not lately. I do love 30. And 34 is pretty solid too. But favorite is 17, hands down. 19 is number 2. The DJD show. Get my mail. Remind Nick to follow on Twitter. Thank you. I will check your email. I apologize. As you guys can tell, we're just finally getting back into the swing of things. For the patrons, you got your message about the shirt, so we're trying to get that worked out and all kinds of stuff. So, DJD show, I will read your message. If I responded to some messages on Patreon last night as soon as I logged in, so I'm behind. I got to do that. But the first thing I got to do is write the thing for Mahler because he's waiting on me. So thank you, Mahler, if you ever hear this. I appreciate your patience. And second thing, I got to get this first page off to the colorist so I can show you guys next week. Hart versus Austin is my number 1. That is a fantastic match. If the overall WrestleMania was better, I'd put 13 higher up on my list. But man, that is a great match. WrestleMania 18, NWO Hollywood Hogan versus The Rock. I watched that live on pay-per-view, much like I did 17, up in this room. My office used to be my old bedroom. And I remember sitting on the floor as a kid with my DirecTV box. Now, I had to run a giant coaxial wire all the way up the steps and tape it to the wall so I could get DirecTV upstairs. And I loved it. But I remember watching WrestleMania 18 on my floor, just sitting there thinking, oh, my God. My mom let me order Pizza Hut and something else. And I sat there and I watched WrestleMania by myself. And I was convinced The Rock was going to lose because he had lost at the last 3 WrestleManias. And no, he beat Hulk Hogan, and it was awesome. And I taped that, and I used to take that tape to people's houses and be like, look at The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. And my uncle was pissed because my uncle's an old school Hulk Hogan fan. I was like, yeah, The Rock's better. He beat him, blah, 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 blah. Well, I still talk to my uncle, but not about wrestling. Yeah, I'm glad you agree, Midnight Cherry TV. The good, the bad, the Tico. The few, the proud Marines. See what I did there? Oh, you saw Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant live. That's probably the biggest WrestleMania moment of all time. The Rock didn't win. It was a tie. What, WrestleMania 18? Oh, Rock whooped his Rudy Poo candy ass. He beat him twice. Rock is the only person to beat Hulk Hogan twice cleanly. Well, not cleanly the second time, but The Rock is the only person to beat Hulk Hogan twice since his return. All out of bubblegum. Good luck on your graveyard shift. Thank you for all the support you've given this channel. And hopefully, if you have a job that you can listen to us at, we will be live tonight later in the evening with Spaceballs. Who remembers the 2005 Star Wars Live where they showed all the movies, brought all the props, and John Williams and his band played the music live? I missed that. Oh, Jesus. If I had the ability to watch that, I would. They're coming to town, but it's not John Williams. It's not Eric Kunzel. It's the new guy who's the Cincinnati Pops Orchestra guy. Biggest WrestleMania was squash match against Triple H's punishment for the Madison Square Garden incident. The Madison Square Garden incident hadn't happened yet. I don't believe. Yeah, because Shawn Michaels was the champion, and he won that at WrestleMania 12. I believe the curtain call was later in 96. I'm trying to remember. I didn't watch back then. But Apollo Creed, that pedigree that he gave the Ultimate Warrior, and then he just jumps back up and annihilates him. That's pretty funny. Some guy 4567, you missed the entire show, man. Actually, no, the show's still going. Don't worry. I loved when HBK wrestled every attack from Hogan. Oh, SummerSlam 05. I watched that. That was one of the first pay-per-views I watched at B-Dubs. I went from SummerSlam 05 through whatever the pay-per-view was in 2014 before the network came out. I watched all the pay-per-views at B-Dubs all the time. Never missed one. That's where I met Phil and became friends with him. And Joel. I met Joel years ago to B-Dubs. That's how I became friends. Because reasons, thank you very much. The first WWF match I remember seeing was Hogan versus The Undertaker. Yes, it was a long time ago. What was it, 1990? Right? Or 91? This Tuesday in Texas? Was that the match where Hogan lost the title? Or was it Survivor Series? I don't remember. I wasn't watching. I didn't start watching until 1999. And if it was 90 or 91, I was 2 years old, 3 at the oldest. John Land. Thank you for your super chat. So, would you snap into a Slim Jim? I miss Randy. He was awesome. I miss Randy Savage too. That's probably the saddest wrestling death. Not necessarily just in terms because he's no longer with us, but because he had finally come to terms with the WWE. They put him in video games. They were making action figures of him, and it was finally time to get the Macho Man back. And to listen to him cut a promo as an old man with that big white beard, and he was still in great shape, at least on the outside, that would have been awesome. And that's something that I miss, even though we didn't get it. That's something that we missed out on, and I wish that would have been a possibility. What's my favorite wrestling finisher? It sounds stupid, but I'm going to go with the People's Elbow. It's just so fun. But if we're taking the Rock, I always usually remove the Rock from the equation because it's not fair. I like the Pedigree. That seems fucking brutal. The RKO is great. Chokeslam's pretty cool. Tombstone Piledriver will mess you up. So, yeah, those are my other ones. Ric Flair and my grandmother were good friends. Ric Flair used to send her flowers on her birthday every year when she was still alive. Oh, that's awesome. See, it's little shit like that that makes you really appreciate these people behind the scenes. It's stuff they don't talk about on the network or on TV. But Ric Flair seems like a pretty stand-up dude. Thank you, the DJD show. Superfan Adam Shawhan likes the super kick. It's funny, I have a Shawn Michaels figure on my shelves. I was thinking about Sweet Chin music. No kendo, I mean the RKO, not the diamond cutter, because you can hit the RKO out of nowhere. The diamond cutter requires some setup. Bro Paulo Creed says Warrior's death was more tragic. He literally came back to Raw after decades of acrimony with Vince and died 2 days after WrestleMania. I was at that WrestleMania 30, and we watched the Hall of Fame speech. And I remember exactly how it was because I was laying on this couch. We were in a big hotel suite down in New Orleans. I was on the couch eating barbecue, and the other guys were like on different pieces of furniture laying down. And Phil and Paul, the other guys that went with us, they were going out to the strip club. But we were tired. We wanted to eat food and watch the Hall of Fame ceremony. And the Warrior speech was so surreal because none of us were fans when the Ultimate Warrior was in the WWF. And yeah, I mean up at the 96. Dan started watching in 97, Dion 97, me 99. So we were just there, and it was like our first experience. But I will give the nod to Scott Hall. His speech was the best. But yeah, the Warrior story was really sad. Plus, he has young kids. It's sad when anybody dies. Even your 100-year-old grandma, it's sad when she dies. But to me, somebody that has young kids, no dad, kind of rough. So it's weird that he makes amends just to die. Kind of sad, kind of weird. Life is a weird thing. Because reasons, thank you very much. Was Stone Cold one long beer commercial? Really, though, that was a great time for wrestling when he was champ. Well, I mean, beer commercials are excellent. Besides, what is it, Schlitz Gay on SNL? I can't think of a better beer commercial than Stone Cold Steve Austin. When he was champion, it was a great time in wrestling. Everything around it, everyone was firing on all cylinders. It was a lot of fun. I mean, personally, my favorite year in wrestling is the year 2000, and Stone Cold was only there for the end. He only had, 2 pay-per-view matches in 2000 and maybe 5 or 6 matches overall that entire year. But I do respect Stone Cold. Jeff knows his wrestling. Gavin Smith, I know a lot about stuff. If I call myself a fan of something, I'm going to know it. That's why I always talk about fake fandom and bullshit from people, because like Spider-Man, if you like, I like Superman, but I couldn't call myself like a diehard Superman fan. I know he comes from the planet Krypton, and his parents were Jor-El and Lara and all that stuff. Lara. See, right there, I'm not just firing it off. Now, Spider-Man, I know my shit. Wrestling, Star Wars, James Bond, all those things. Those are my go-tos in terms of my favorite entertainment. And that's why this channel works the way it does, because you guys are passionate about Star Wars, as am I, and I know my stuff. We can have tons and tons of conversations about this. By the way, Mr. V, nice Conan O'Brien reference. I didn't like 2000 as much, like 98, 99, and 01, 03 periods better. Well, Midnight Cherry TV, I'm a Rock mark. Rock was the #1 guy in 2000. The only bad pay-per-view in the year 2000, in my opinion, was WrestleMania. Every other pay-per-view that year was awesome. Royal Rumble, No Way Out, Backlash was way better than WrestleMania. Backlash is what WrestleMania should have been. Judgment Day, King of the Ring, all great. Fucking fully loaded triple main event. That was great. SummerSlam, TLC. What more could you ask for? The only, maybe Unforgiven was a little weak. No Mercy was solid. Survivor Series was solid. And Armageddon had the 6-man Hell in a Cell. Come on, man. That's the entire pay-per-view calendar for year. We can thank Stone Cold for the Rock era. We can thank Bret Hart for the Stone Cold era. We can thank a lot of people. We can thank Vince McMahon. I mean, look, Stone Cold was already on the up and up in 96 through 97. If it wasn't for the Bret Hart match and the Vince McMahon storyline and the WCW, we should thank really Eric Bischoff and a lot of those guys for the Stone Cold era. Plus, I always use the argument, when Stone Cold went away, the WWF continued to grow, and The Rock carried that shit. And Stone Cold, while he was very popular and sold the most t-shirts, Stone Cold didn't have a TV show named after his catchphrase. Stone Cold didn't have a video game named after his TV show. Stone Cold didn't do as much as The Rock did. He wasn't as much of a crossover star. Thank Hart for the HBK era. Thank Farouk for The Rock. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's hit him with that giant picture of The Rock, too. Bro Paulo Cree says, I was at the 2000 TLC pay-per-view. The Rock had the biggest reaction I've ever seen at a live event in my lifetime. So we were at SummerSlam 2000. I'm lucky. Or you're lucky. I wish I was there. If you watch that pay-per-view, people actually run to the fucking ramp when he comes out. His music hits. If you smell, people are like, ah! I mean, I was there at WrestleMania 28 when he beat John Cena. Talk about a loud pop. Holy shit. When he pinned him 1, 2, 3, it's like, ah! The whole crowd just fucking erupted. See, people are thinking, I hate wrestling. Why are they talking about it? Because wrestling brings excitement into your life. Entertainment needs to be exciting for it to resonate with you. Star Wars, it elicits that type of excitement for me. You know, when the Luke is going down the trench and that drum's hitting and you got the music and it swells and it builds and it builds. I have you now. You get the goosebumps. You get excited. There's those things. It works better in wrestling because it's a community thing. You don't go to wrestling by yourself. You go with thousands of other people that are there to see the same thing as you. And the community is awesome. You think this community is great? Wait till you meet these people in person at Star Wars Celebration. That's when you'll really see the power of the fandom menace, and you'll feel what we talk about on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, if you will. Wrestling is soap opera for dudes. You damn right it is, and I'm not embarrassed. Why didn't they use tractor beams? That's an interesting question, your mama. I don't know. Maybe because they didn't want to rip off a new... Oh, wait, they did. Oh, my God. Iron Sheik is the man. I love to follow his Twitter. I just like to laugh. Is wrestling doing okay? No, wrestling's shitty today. I don't really watch it much, but I like to relive the past, talk about it with people. Last time I saw wrestling on TV was about a year ago. There were no American flags anywhere. There's something inherently wrong with that. Well, they're waiting for Hulk Hogan to come back. Ryan Johnson took a squat in JJ's mystery box and mailed it to his home. That is a... Yeah, you shit on my front porch, Ryan. That's pretty much what Star Wars Episode 8 is. Hey, Kendo, who's your favorite wrestler? Superfan Adam Shawhan needs to know. By the way, Adam, I hope you have a good birthday this weekend, man. It was a lot of fun to meet you. And folks, if you got a birthday coming up and you want to shout out, all you got to do is tell me. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't think you're looking for attention. I'd love to share it with everyone, to wish you a happy birthday, because the older you get, sometimes birthdays, you work on them, you don't get to celebrate them the way you want to, but you should. And speaking of birthday, Stealing Solo's campaign ends on my birthday party. So the bullshitters are going to be in town. We're going to do a live countdown to the end of the Indiegogo. So don't wait till then. Get in early, because you might miss out. You might be busy watching our other live streams. Hulk Hogan kind of already is accepted back. He's accepted back for me, and he said what he said, and it was stupid. But here's one thing I will say. This is the final note on wrestling for the morning. If anyone involved in wrestling continues to bitch about the Hulk Hogan comments, which are, fucked up, think of this. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, you wouldn't have the career you have, because if it wasn't for Vince and Hulk, there would have been no Hulkamania era. There would have been no Rock and Wrestling, MTV, cable, all this shit. So you need to thank Hulk Hogan for what he did, because Hulk Hogan's the reason why people can make the money they do in wrestling, and it's the show that it is, and not a sideshow, not a joke. I love Macho Man, I love Piper, I love all kinds of guys, but those guys wouldn't have been able to do it the way Hulk Hogan did. So Titus O'Neil and everyone out there that wants to bitch about it, yeah, it was fucked up what he said. Hulk Hogan's not a racist. Worked with Mr. T. He's done a lot of stuff in his life. Let's stop focusing on that one thing and realize that the empire you work for, partly Hulk Hogan's responsibility. Alex G, excuse me. Did Mickey Rourke die at the end of The Wrestler? First off, thank you for your super chat. I think it's meant to be open to interpretation. I hope he didn't. Randy the Ram Robin. That's a fucking awesome movie. That's a lot like Terminator 2, where I've seen somebody cry watching it, but I understand why. Today is Caligula's birthday. Like the dead Caligula, or like our listener that uses the name Caligula? Ooh, two weeks until Ricky Radio's birthday. Remind me in 2 weeks, man. I will wish you a happy birthday. Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter did have a G.I. Joe figure. I didn't have it. So did William the Refrigerator Perry, who's also in the WWE Hall of Fame. Happy birthday. Put on the birthday suit. Oh, the real Caligula. If you guys have a birthday during Star Wars Celebration, I'll get Dion to wear the turkey suit and sing you happy birthday. How's that for a slice of fried gold? That's only that's the kind of fan appreciation you get here on World Class Bullshitters. Uncle E's birthday is on Monday. Is there a website where I can overnight him a pound of pie? Not a pound. A gross of pies. 13 of them. Oh, you have an autographed copy of Mick Foley's book? I wish I had one of those. You want a happy birthday, Mr. President version for you, Holder's Muff? We can work something out. I have like 6 copies of The Rock's book. If I ever meet him, like that I can get shit signed, I think I'll be like, hey, man, I know this seems like a lot, but this is only a fraction of what I own, and I'll just take a Rubbermaid container and be like, all right, here's the books, here's this, the t-shirt, the poster, the ticket, the movie stub. Nah, I wouldn't fanboy out. Oh, so what else do we want to cover? Oh, yeah, let's look up some bad comic book art. You guys are very patient today. The Good Morning Pop Culture audience is the best in the world. Why? Because they wake up early to listen to this show, and they're patient when I forget shit. So thank you guys so much. So bad comic book art. Okay, I didn't mean to hit the cap locks button. I don't want to pick on Liefeld because we've already covered him before. It's funny, some of the artwork they consider bad, I would just consider stylistically different. Let's see, what do we have? Oh, John Romita Jr. is not the worst. It's funny, I typed this in, and literally the first thing that pops up was Rob Liefeld's Captain America titty. See, sometimes I look at artwork and people like, okay, I want your opinion, guys. This popped up under worst comic book art. I don't see how this is considered bad art whatsoever. I mean, I'm not saying this is the best thing I've ever seen, but I mean straight up, this is not bad. This is, in my opinion, fine. Better than a lot of artists. I don't see any technical issues. I don't dislike it whatsoever. What do you guys think? Do you consider this bad artwork? I sure as shit don't. But this popped up when you typed in bad comic book art. I don't know. Some of these are really blurry. God, it's not showing the picture of Rob Liefeld. Again, this is like the worst form for bad comic book art because the art doesn't suck. Let's see what you guys say about that image. Moret Dealine, off to work. Thank you, Moret Dealine, for all you do for the channel. Appreciate it. Oh, we got bad art on the fan page. Okay, I'll go take that. Frank Cho. Oh man, Frank Cho's a fantastic artist. Let's go look at that. Yeah, this is just stylized. This isn't bad art in my opinion. I mean, everyone is different. They can say, feel how they want to feel. But for me, I look at that and go, oh, this is fine. There's nothing wrong with this shit. Not shit at all. Okay, so let's see. Facebook page. Let's see what popped up. Bad manga art, I believe. God, I love that we have fan art on this thing. Let's see. Amy Minty sent some. Let's check these out. Is that a... Oh, okay. I thought that was Spider-Man for a minute. I was like, what is this? So, what popped up? Gerard Way wrote a comic book from was that My Chemical Romance or whatever? Or wait, it was My Chemical Romance. Which band was Jared Leto in? I don't know. This is what Amy Minty sent over. This isn't bad. It looks like he's taking a dump on the guy's head, but I think this looks pretty cool. I kind of like it. What do you guys think? Uh, 30 seconds to Mars. Okay. 30 seconds to Mars. There we go. Yeah, the Frank Miller Batman. No, Master Race is the I'm thinking of, what is that? Dark Knight Strikes Back. I thought that was a little bizarre at times. Yeah, the background is cool. This is a DC comic. I don't think that's too bad. Salvador, thank you very much for super chat. Being active duty, I put up with a lot of actual bullshit. So on behalf of all the vets that are listening, thanks for giving us the bullshit we enjoy. Well, Salvador, thank you for all that you do and your service. And please make sure that when you're free that you join our veterans stream. There's quite a few veterans that listen to this channel. I just want to have a hangout. You guys talk about how you can consume entertainment in the military. We'll make that happen in September for sure. I'll even get Joel on board because Joel is a former Navy man. And he's definitely let himself go, but he did serve at one point in time. So, Salvador, thank you. Thank you to everybody. And I'm glad that we, re-reach you and you guys enjoy us the way you do. It's cool. And people from every walk of life enjoy world-class bullshitters. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much for your super chat. They should adapt some of the Dark Horse, Terminator, Predator, and Alien comics instead of the shit movies we keep getting. Yes, they should. James Cameron's name attached to it's going to bring, the internet critics are going to get wet in their panties. Oh my God. James Cameron's back. Terminator's going to be great again. No, you get the LGBT 1000. Not even good to start with. Mackenzie Davis, in real life, nice looking person, pretty good actress. Don't have anything bad to say about it. But my God, whatever makeup job they gave her, whatever they're trying to talk about with this LGBT 1000 shit, I'm not on board. All the James Cameron name pimping in the world isn't going to do enough for that movie, in my opinion. Oh, thank you to everybody. Stealing Solo jumped up another $400. Okay, it's almost to $17,000. So it'll be at $17,000 probably by this afternoon. And we'll, like I said, I'll be finishing the page and getting off the colors. So thank you very much. Thoughts on the new Predator movie? I'm not sold. Again, to jump back off of Stephen Morgan's super chat, I would rather see some of that stuff from the 90s adapted because those were stories based off the original stuff. They're going straight from the old source material to try to adapt it. And it was made at a time where this political correctness garbage wasn't permeating every form of entertainment we consume. It was a lot purer back then, darker, grittier, grimier. And if the technology existed in the early 90s to see RoboCop fight Predator, fight Terminator with a big grand scale story, that would have been crazy and awesome. If Schwarzenegger had aged, well, Schwarzenegger's aged incredibly well. He's in better shape than all of us listening right now, except for maybe Salvador and all the current active duty guys, because, you have to pass physical fitness tests. But Schwarzenegger's in great shape. Yeah, he looks old. He's like 70. Can't really knock him. But he's a little too old to play, the T-800 straight from the future type of thing. But if we could find a way to do that without the lifeless CGI, that'd be a cool movie to make today. When people are really agreeing with you, Stephen Morgan. But the new Predator film, I'm not sold. It's nothing to do with the female Predator and all this shit, because look at like a praying mantis. Doesn't the female remove the male's head after sex and all that stuff? I get what they're trying to go for. I'm not saying I embrace it and I'm open, excited for the idea. I'm open to the idea. I just think without Schwarzenegger and the one-liners, even Predator 2 doesn't work. So I'm old school like that. Jijigify says, thoughts on Brock Lesnar? Not a fan personally. Well, thank you, Jijigify. I do not like Brock Lesnar. As a person, I don't know him, so I'm not saying personal attack on Brock Lesnar because I don't want him to bust through my wall and kill me. No, but Brock Lesnar, I'm not a fan of Brock Lesnar as a wrestler. I didn't like him when he first debuted back in 2002. I thought he beat everybody too quickly. There was no story behind him. I don't like the monster pushes, with the exception of Braun Strowman. And even Braun Strowman has some losses. But Brock Lesnar coming back in 2012 was cool because he beat the shit out of John Cena, who I hate. But after that, I lost interest in Brock Lesnar. He hasn't done much to entertain me. So him losing the title to Roman Reigns sucks because I hate Roman Reigns more than Brock Lesnar. But Brock Lesnar could just go away. Let him go back to UFC and fight. Let him, raise his kids with Sable. Let him have a happy life. No more wrestling, please. From Brock Lesnar, not questions. Michael Rodriguez, thank you very much for your super chat. Alien versus Terminator movie would be dope as hell. It would be. I mean, I know a lot of people, we talk about story and we talk about, this and that and interconnected stuff. But how, sometimes an action movie, like John Wick, has a story, but there's just tons and tons of action set pieces. Why not do an Alien versus Terminator style movie where they basically set it up quickly and then it's just, Terminator wiping out aliens and shit. And like the final battle, he's starting to melt from the acid blood and something else happens. And they try to tongue punch the CPU out of his head. And in a final blow, he rips out the throat and they both die. It's a double KO. No one's a real winner. Thought on James Cameron's Alita movie. Greta Franklin, I will not be watching the Battle Angel Alita film. I think it's Robert Rodriguez, right? It's not that I have a personal vendetta against him or even James Cameron. I just don't. The story doesn't interest me. I'm not trying to knock Blade Runner or other things, but all these stories, Ghost of the Shell, they're all the same to me. It's a robot trying to figure out what it means to be human. And that's a trope I just don't care about anymore. Blade Runner did it right 36 years ago. I'm over it. All these, I'm a robot, but I want to be human. I'm more. Watch Ex Machina, watch this, watch that. So for me, Battle Angel Alita is just the same story with Christoph Waltz now in crappy, weird, uncanny valley CGI. I see that movie being a minor flop. That's just my guess. Your average audience, we're on the internet. We're a different group of people. Even I don't like too much anime and manga, but I like some. There are a lot of people out there that have never seen it. Maybe they don't even know that Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon or our anime series. So I don't know how well Alita Battle Angel is going to do. Maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe they'll do better in other parts of the world. I'm just not sold. Thoughts on the Spawn reboot? I will watch it because it's going to be rated R and it's going to be Todd McFarlane. And I've told you guys this on the show before. As a kid, I didn't really care for Todd McFarlane's stuff. It's like because I was little, when he was drawing Spider-Man, it looked ugly and weird. I respect the shit out of Todd McFarlane. He's a rock star in terms of he wanted to do it his way. He went out, he made his own business. He really is the American dream. Him and Schwarzenegger, they both did it their way. They made it big. McFarlane is the man, and I want to see how his directorial debut goes. I like looking back. I appreciate Spawn. So, it could be awesome. Jamie Foxx, I'm not really sold on him playing Spawn, but he's a fantastic actor. He's the consummate entertainer. He can sing, he can dance, he can act. I respect him too. But he doesn't have that presence like a Michael J. White. And I don't want The Rock to play Spawn, but The Rock has that presence. He's like a big buff. Like Salvador, you said you're active duty. Some of the special teams guys or whatever. They have like a presence about them. There's an air of something. Jamie Foxx just seems so friendly and likable. I don't know if I can take him seriously. Maybe I'll be proven wrong like Michael Keaton with Batman. Thinking I was too young to have those doubts about him. Let's see. I did see about the American flag, Holdo's muff. I think we talked about that on After Hours last night. Salvador says, I want to know what happened. Back in the 90s and earlier, all boys always looked up to the guys like Arnold, especially the timid and weaker boys. We wanted to be him. Now all the timid, weak boys think it's toxic masculinity. It's something. I grew up single parent, mom, dad had died. So I really didn't have, and I'm not trying to sound like a hard luck case. Don't take it like that. But realistically, I was raised by my mom and my grandma. Didn't have like a male presence in my life, which really wasn't a problem because I always say my mom and my grandma were both my parents. But you did look up to like the strong masculine characters in movies. Like you thought Arnold was cool. You thought Stallone, when you could understand what he's saying, was cool. I don't know. The thing is too, and I'm not trying to get, I don't want to hurt anyone when I say this, but that toxic masculinity that people want to harp about, that's the primal shit that attracts, the opposite sex. There's a reason why the douchebags and quotations at the gym get the chicks or this or that or the other thing. There's just like a primal thing that hits people on a different level because, people exist to procreate and, there are generations and generations of, certain psychological triggers that get you to want to be like that. You think Arnold Schwarzenegger had a problem getting chicks? No. You think if you looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he'd have a problem getting chicks? No. You wouldn't have to talk about microaggressions and all this other bullshit. Superfan Adam Shawhan, I told him my feminist story, which I'll tell anybody that comes to meet us at conventions. I can't say it on air or even after hours, but he knows that story. Sometimes you just got to play it like that. I don't buy into the whole toxic masculinity thing. Because you want to be the best, competition's good. Taking care of yourself is good. Wanting more out of life is good. This anti-masculinity kick, it's like, just roll over like a fucking snail or a turtle. Just be that turtle, man. Either get into your shell or lay on your back and just let the sun dry you out and you die a really slow, painful death. I don't get why people look up to these weak characters like Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory isn't a role model. He's just socially inept, and you shouldn't want to be socially inept. You don't have to be the most gregarious person in the world, but talking to people is fun. This is fun. I talk to hundreds, tens of thousands of people a week. It's fun. I enjoy doing this. If you're an introvert, that's you, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to be like everybody else, but I don't get, Salvador, I'm with you, why people look at this as a bad thing. Like the guys from Predator, if they made the original Predator today, you'd have like, what's her name from Aliens? Vasquez, you'd have her on the team and all this shit. And they'd be like, oh, what about the body diversity? What about this? What about it? They're fucking soldiers. They're meant to be at peak physical condition. The Avengers are all in great shape. There's a reason for that. You're constantly on the move. You're fighting crime. You're fighting intergalactic threats. You're here to protect. Like a soldier, you have to be in shape to protect and do what you got to do. So I don't know why it died. And I don't think it's a long-standing thing. I think it's fairly recent. You got these hippy-dippy teachers that are, and like, I avoided it. I'm 29. I was in college in 2012. I skirted by. We had this one crazy SJW professor, and I just blew her off as stupid, and I passed her class just fine, and I didn't really worry about that kind of stuff. I feel like the stuff that people on the internet harp about aren't real issues, And once they step out of their echo chamber that is the internet, they're in the real world, and those things don't matter. And the toxic masculinity and stuff that they push out, or these traditional things, well, they matter to most people, or a good amount of people. And you don't need to conform, but be yourself, form your own opinions. Don't look to the internet for your identity. Find who you are, take a look in the mirror, do what you got to do. But thank you, Salvador. Kevithar 1138. Always thought a great crossover would be John Connor finding, or a team of his finding, Officer Murphy in an OCP storage vault after the nuke war. Ooh, that is fucking good. Kevithar, please do me a favor. Please remind me when Dion is on the show, because Dion is the RoboCop guy. That would be a fucking awesome pitch. And you could get away with that too, because you could have Peter Weller voice RoboCop. You could have anybody be John Connor. I mean, if Edward Furlong wanted to clean his life up and get his shit together, talk about an awesome choice. But man, you don't even have to have Arnold Schwarzenegger in the flick. You could have it take place in the future, and it's just the T-800 endoskeletons, and RoboCop has the fucking weaponry and the know-how, and he's got that whole database in his head. That could be cool. You see, when people pitch shit like this, you can tell I'm excited. Because even I don't like RoboCop that much, I would watch that movie today. Like, if somebody said, Jeff, that movie is made, let's go watch it. Sorry, guys, I'm cutting the stream off early. I got to go see RoboCop and Terminator. That's a cool fucking premise. And then the action ensues, and it's crazy and violent and bloody, and oh, man. That's the shit I want to come back. Boogeyman 67. Who wins, Jason Bourne or John Wick? Well, Boogeyman 67, thank you. My answer is John Wick. Jason Bourne is a baby back bitch compared to John Wick. Jason Bourne spazzes out when somebody he loves dies. John Wick gets revenge. Let's see. Salvador, can we please watch Coming to America? Yeah, we can. Fucking fantastic movie. We'll get that shit rolling sooner than you think. September will be, October is inventory time at Statler Toyota, but September is going to be a time where we can get back to being really fan focused. I appreciate everyone being patient. It's been kind of rough trying to do shows and launch Indiegogos and do live streams and all this stuff, but we'll get back to being more fan focused when I get back from Virginia in September, and we'll slow it down a little bit. We'll continue to do more, and we'll have Coming to America and all kinds of stuff. I love that movie. I know a lot of the patrons are asking when they can get their streams. I will give everyone in the order they asked. You will get your live hangout, and we'll pick a date and we'll make it happen. Comanche Viper, thank you for your super chat. What Hogan said was said in private. We all say things at home we won't say in public. He didn't expect to be recorded. True. I try to portray myself, though, in private as I do in public. I tell you guys personal thoughts I have all the time. I think of myself, even if I didn't have the show, I'm very much, Dion can attest to this. What I say to him in private, I'll say in public. We may talk about what we've done or stuff, locker room talk, as they would say. But I don't, I don't know. I'm pretty open, but I'm with you about the Hogan thing, Comanche Viper. He did say it in private. You say stupid shit. He owned up to it. They removed him from the Hall of Fame for a portion of time, and it's time to let it go. You don't expect to be recorded when you're going to bang someone's wife. I know I wasn't. Jigify, The Punisher versus Golgo 13. Who wins? I win, Jigify. First off, thank you. Good morning. But I win. I love Golgo 13. I love The Punisher. But if I'm being honest, I think Golgo 13 might beat The Punisher, because The Punisher can take an ass whooping like no other. Golgo 13 can there too, but Golgo 13 is the world's best shot. The Punisher isn't known to be the world's best shot. Frank Castle will have armor and this and that, but Golgo needs one bullet to take out any target. And that's why I think he'll win. We can watch Trading Places. We can do a lot of Eddie Murphy movies. Maybe we'll do a weird late night Eddie Murphy watch party. So you guys bring the booze and the questions, and I'll bring myself and the bullshitters. Thank you, superfan Adam Shawhan. I appreciate that. I'm a Yeti in private, too. The only Yeti is right here. Stephen Morgan, thank you for your super chat. Henry Cavill is Bond and Martin Campbell should direct. That is a dream team. Martin Campbell is this, and listen, let me say this the right way. He is the second best director to direct James Bond's first outings. Now, people are saying, but Jeff, GoldenEye, Casino Royale were fantastic. You know, Guy Hamilton directed Roger Moore's first thing, blah, 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 blah. John Glenn did that. But listen, the first James Bond films, Sean Connery's Dr. No, so much of the James Bond that we love on film is really one man. Terrence Young is a real-life James Bond. He passed away in the 90s, but he's the one who got the tailor and taught Sean Connery how to be, proficient in etiquette and how to dress, what to do. He made him sleep in a suit. We have Terrence Young to thank for the cinematic James Bond. So I want to just get that out of the way. Without Terrence Young, we wouldn't have the Bond we have at all. But GoldenEye, Casino Royale, great first outings. Yes, Martin Campbell should direct Henry Cavill as the next James Bond. Daniel Craig, please go have your child and enjoy your life. Live a safe, healthy life, but get the fuck out of James Bond. You don't want to be here. I don't want you here. Let's not cause problems for people that love 007. If they're good, I'll watch a James Bond movie all the time, every year, every other year. I will not get tired of that. That's just me. Realistically, it should be every 2 years or so for a new Bond adventure. Pump them out. Get James Bond going again. Get the public interest up. People like to shit on Pierce Brosnan, but listen, back in the day, those Brosnan flicks were the big event pictures. That was really one of the only ongoing franchises in the 90s that consistently put out movies. And it didn't start until 95. It didn't start back up until 95. You had two Batman movies post GoldenEye, and those kind of were the end of the franchise. But Bond kind of got picked back up in 95 and was going strong. And even though people like to shit on Die Another Day, myself included, it was not a failure. It was not a flop. And the Bond franchise did well in 2002. The games continued strongly. The toys actually came out from Sideshow, and they could have continued James Bond with Pierce Brosnan. But Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson went the stupid route. So fuck them. But Stephen Morgan, thank you very much. Thank you for everybody this morning. This has turned into one of our better episodes in terms of diversity of content. You see, that's how you do diversity of ideas. That's what matters. Darth Hammer, I didn't realize that Ryan Johnson called out Mike Zero likening him to garbage. I thought that I just saw the one screenshot where he said, "Oh my God, Zero," where he got 0-2 or something like that. I thought he was making a shitty joke. I didn't realize he likened him to garbage. That changes my stance on Mike Zero as well as Ryan Johnson. Don't like Ryan Johnson as a director. Don't think I'd like him as a man. He's not very masculine, if you know what I mean. I'm not a Mike Zero fan, but I don't liken him to garbage. He does his own thing on the internet. See, I'm lucky. I have my own little corner of the internet with all of you guys and ladies, and we listen to the show, or we make the show, and we have fun, and we do our own thing. I don't go out of my way to make up bullshit and sensationalist garbage to promote the channel, and I don't go out of my way to call out people. Yes, I've called out shills. I've brought a couple to task, and I'm proud of what I've done. But I don't do the I don't operate the same way as other YouTubers. You know, Mike Zero does his own thing. It's not for me, but I mean, he's got to deal with Ryan Johnson now. Ryan Johnson's a douche for calling out a YouTuber. I don't think he's very busy with his new sequel trilogy or his new trilogy if he has time to talk shit on Twitter. Just saying, but I didn't realize he did it like that. Jujigify, they say Golgo 13 always fulfills his contracts. He does. Have you ever seen the one where the guy tries to pay Golgo like triple the money not to kill him? It's a pretty good one. And then I think the guy fakes his death or something and Golgo still gets him. Garrett Wanzer, thank you very much. How about a stream for Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park by Hanna-Barbera? Milton Crest is in it too. Okay, well, you sold me on Milton Crest, a.k.a. I don't know his real name, but he's in James Bond, License to Kill. I'm really, here's the thing, guys. I am really open to crazy ideas for live streams. If it's something that's on YouTube, it's the best because everyone can watch it. But if it's something really weird and hokey that a lot of people have access to, we can have fun and watch that. It doesn't have to be genre entertainment. It can be anything. It just has to be entertainment. Like I always promote this channel. We are an entertainment podcast. We're an entertainment channel. You know, I said that to Judge Reinhold, and I said, hey, and we really love Beverly Hills Cop. We have tons of great things to say about you and Billy Rosewood. And he took a business card and all that shit. So that was cool too. But no, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park is definitely an option. I actually was listening to Kiss this morning before the show because now I have a new routine where I wake up and I listen to some music to pump me up, drink some coffee, get ready to perform Good Morning Pop Culture. And Kiss was today's musical choice. Love Gun, fantastic song, so much fun. I kind of want to watch Detroit Rock City and eat a burrito today. I might. Why the Daniel Craig hate Jeff? I don't hate Daniel Craig. Like I said, I think he's a really great actor outside of the role of Bond. I think he's one of the best actors to do other work outside of Bond overall. And I don't dislike him as a person. And he just doesn't want to play James Bond, much like Sean Connery didn't want to play Bond and You Only Live Twice. You can see that on film. You can be a great actor, but sometimes when your heart's there, if you look into people's eyes, they're just not all there. And it saddens me to say this too, because I liked the direction that they were going in Spectre. I thought it was fun. It was nice to bring back the gun barrel and some of the crazier, more outlandish elements. But he just constantly doesn't want to do it. He wants James Bond to die. He's just not in it. The only actor to get fired from James Bond was Pierce Brosnan. Everyone else got to finish out their contracts or quit or do whatever else they wanted to do. Connery quit and then got his one-off in Diamonds Are Forever. Lazenby quit. Moore got his proper send-off after, 14 years? No, 12 years of Bond. Dalton quit after waiting for the litigation, but Brosnan was fired, and Daniel Craig gets to ride his out too. I don't feel some personal betrayal because of the way Pierce Brosnan was handled, but he was the only actor that wanted to continue the role. And when you want to do something, you do it well, you do it with passion. And that's exactly how I did Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody, and there was a car wreck outside of my house. So excuse the cheap plug. But no, there's no Craig hate. There's just, I'm aware of how he operates, and I care about Bond a lot more than most people. Do I think there's hope for a Boba Fett movie? Not for at least 10 years. Not for at least 10 years. What about the Johnson attack on Mike Zero? He just called him garbage, I guess. I'm going to have to look more into it. Like I always do on this channel, guys. When I cover a topic, I have to do the research because I don't want to go in half-cocked and make a mistake. James Bond wouldn't do that. Let's see. Star Wars Junkman team with Roundhead to shit on Zero. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. From zero to hero, baby. All right, Lando. What's up, Trent? Let's see who else we got. Meet the Feebles. We could watch that. I've seen that movie. It's fucking weird. What's the next movie? I believe tonight we're going to watch Spaceballs about 11:30. I'm going to be online tonight no matter what. Doing a live stream hangout. We'll talk about all kinds of crazy stuff, and we'll probably watch Spaceballs. Kendo's got to work, but he's going to make it home in time, so that is the next film. Let's see. Detroit Rock City starring Fat John Connor. I fucking love that movie so much. It's just one of those 90s flicks that's so small and off a lot of people's radars. And it's not like the greatest movie ever made, but it's a lot of fun. I feel like it the way I do about some Kevin Smith movies. It just, for what it is, it has every right to exist. It has a great soundtrack. The cinematography is fine. It's fun. It's funny. And I would buy it on Blu-ray if it wasn't. Oh, no, Airheads is the expensive one. That's not too expensive. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on some of these. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much for your super chat. Maybe your next comic should be about James Bond. Well, Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody, becomes a huge success, and I can write a real James Bond comic book. Now, the only problem is with James Bond comic books from Dynamite Entertainment is that they are based on the Ian Fleming James Bond novels, not the Eon Production James Bond films. I am passionate about the character as a whole, but if I got to do a James Bond comic book the way I wanted to, I've already thought this out in my head. The artwork would look like Johnny Quest in terms of like, it would be a period piece with Sean Connery as James Bond in the 60s. Because that way you don't get the pass of, hey, it's a computer, it's a computer. But, Stealing Solo becomes a hit, becomes a movie. Once you have that happen, have the freedom to make any kind of comic, because the comic book industry is falling apart. And when you can say, hey, my independent comic book made $5 million, well, what can I do for your company? You see what I'm saying? So, the Comicsgate stuff is important to save comics as a whole. Yeah, it puts other people on their toes, but it gives us the carte blanche to do what we want with future stuff, get into Save Spider-Man. Would I laugh if Paul Stanley got blown up on stage? Like with a device? That would be terrible. I don't want to see him blow up. Last night was nuts on Twitter and YouTube. Oh, man, I got to catch up. I was so busy doing world-class bullshitters that I missed out on the drama. Thank you, Darth Platypus. Oh, yeah, Jijigify. That's the first episode, isn't it? Of Golgo 13, the TV show. Swinging Cod, thank you very much for your super chat. GoldenEye opened on my birthday just after I finished reading the novel, so my birthday party was my mom taking me and my friends. It was awesome. That was awesome, dude. Man, I'm a little jealous. I didn't get to go see GoldenEye for my birthday. I've never had a James Bond birthday anything. As a kid, they came out in the summer or November. No, they came out in November when I was a kid or younger. So my birthday's in October. I missed that. That's awesome, though. GoldenEye birthday. I saw GoldenEye on videotape first. That's, I was a little young for it in theaters. I would have been, 7? Didn't really know much about James Bond. But Swinging Cod, you win the award for the coolest birthday present ever. I'm jealous. Hammer of Crom, thank you very much for the compliment on the cover art. The interiors are going to be done by me, same colorist. I'm working. I think I'm taking a little too long to try to, make sure every little detail's there. But don't worry, you can never put too much care into something. Let's see. Did everyone notice that the DC stream was removed from YouTube? Yeah, isn't that the one where Cecil went in there and started talking about anus gate or whatever? That's interesting. This is gonna be a next interesting couple of months with this whole Comicsgate thing. Did I see Disenchantment? Is that the Matt Groening Netflix show? I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. On my list, on my watch list, but it'll have to be something I watch in a couple weeks. GoldenEye was the PvP game of choice at Osan Air Base back in '99. We played the shit out of that game, usually drunk, but sometimes sober. Oh my god, I love that game so much. I thankfully have had many a good GoldenEye parties, and I kind of want to bring that back. Maybe the bullshitters and I are going to get together in October for my birthday. We're getting an Airbnb. Maybe I'll dust off the old 64 and get a couple extra controllers, and we'll play GoldenEye together drunk. What do I think of Ryan Johnson bullying Mike Zero? He is a director. It just goes to show how weak he is if he's going after a YouTuber. And now I don't know Mike Zero, but there's a reason Ryan Johnson doesn't go after certain people, because they will rip him a new asshole. His fucking head will be flat by the time they beat him verbally. So maybe Mike Zero is an easy target for Ryan Johnson. Future Star Wars content. Maybe he doesn't have his shields up in time. We can't watch Spaceballs. Bullshit. Stream a GoldenEye tourney. We can do that for sure. We can definitely do that. Nobody would ever want to kidnap Hayden Christensen. He's fine. Let him be off on his farm with Rachel Bilson. Dion versus Jeff versus Kendo versus Nick. GoldenEye tournament. Make it happen. Well, John, I'm going to win because Dion is not good at GoldenEye. I don't know about Kendo, and I'm pretty sure Nick's not that good at it either. You love the gold and silver PPK from GoldenEye. I am a one-shot kill type of dude with a silenced PP7. I strafe around and boom, right in the face. Da-na-da-na. Yeah, I can't talk about that game because I will just want to play it so badly. It's my favorite video game. It's that and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I think those are two of the best games that I've ever experienced. Maybe we'll talk about some of the best games you guys have experienced next time. Kendo was good at GoldenEye. Well, the operative word there is was Kendo. I still am good. Ask Dan. Dan and I went to New Jersey for WrestleMania in 2013. We went to one of those arcade places where you pay a fee and you can play all you want for a set period of time. So I played Dan GoldenEye 25-1. Dan doesn't like play GoldenEye with me. Throwing knives in the bunker. Bonobi, I like to go to the bunker, and here's a trick about GoldenEye. If anyone has their N64 hooked up, go to the bunker on multiplayer, use remote mines, blow up the TV monitors that hang from the ceiling in the main GoldenEye room, and then all your remote mines will float the rest of the game. GTA 3 to San Andreas. When GTA 3 was new, it was my favorite. Then when Vice City came out, my favorite. When San Andreas came out, it to me, San Andreas is better than GTA 4. Grand Theft Auto 19, Chicago Nights. You start the game already dead. I like that. I fucking like that so much. There we go. So let's see. It looks like Good Morning Pop Culture has come to an end for another week. I know, guys. I know it's sad. Maybe one of these days I'll do an all-day stream. I'll live stream for 8 hours. I'll take a break to use the bathroom, and I'll mute the mic between bites of whatever I need to eat in that 8-hour period. But for today, we have to put this baby to bed. So I'll be back tonight around 11:30 for a live stream. Expect Spaceballs. Kendo, go to your local Target, buy a copy. I have 2 copies, one on Blu-ray, one on DVD. Does the Blu-ray come with a digital copy? Let me look. As you can hear me rummaging around. Yeah, Blu-ray and digital HD. All right. Well, there we go. So Spaceballs is happening tonight, folks. So, wow, that is my water bottle that I just rolled over. I use these giant gallon jugs for coffee. It's also on Hulu, Kendo. There we go. Thank you, Pete, 1972. Bye, Cesaria, Japan. Folks, before you go, make sure you check out Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody. It's available on Indiegogo for a limited time. We are only $120 away from $17,000, backed by 399 people, 84% of its goal, and it's got to keep going up so we can do more stuff. Can get the trading card stretch goal, can get the alternate poster. We can get the Ash Can of Anthology, the original book. Hell, when it goes crazy like Cyberfrog, I'll throw in an extra whole completely brand new colored comic, new letters, everything for you guys to enjoy so you can see where I started out, where I am now, and where I'm going into the future. So thank you to everyone who's made World-Class Bullshitters grow the way it has this year. Thank you to everyone who gets up at the crack of dawn, even if they got dozens of dogs to feed and tend to, making Good Morning Pop Culture their morning ritual. Thank you to everybody. Happy birthday to Superfan Adam Shawhan. Guys, enjoy your weekend. I'll be back tonight. We'll have some fun. We'll get a little weird. We'll get a little crazy. Hold on, we can't go yet. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much for your very generous super chat. Have an awesome weekend, Jeff. Stephen Morgan, I will. You have a better weekend. If you're in the UK, what is it already? 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so you probably got 2 hours of work left, and then you're free. Or did you say you were off earlier? I'm sorry, it's been a coffee-fueled morning. I'm buzzing right now. So, folks, thank you. Thank you, Kenneth LaRock. I did see that. I appreciate that. Goodbye to everyone. I'm going to enjoy my burrito and my Detroit Rock City and get to work. So you'll see me in just a few short hours.